Hey there, folks. Do you know what time it is?
Pete and Jeremy's DnDTime. Pete and Jeremy's DnD. Pete and Jeremy's DnDTime. Pete and Jeremy's DnD.
Pete and Jeremy, you know we're gonna have some fun when we are amazed Dungeons and Dragons.
Pete and Jeremy's DnDTime. When we are amazed Dungeons and Dragons.
Pete and Jeremy's DnDTime. Come and have some fun, play D&D. Pete and Jeremy's D&D-time. Come play some D&D with me. Pete and Jeremy's D&D-time. So many fun things to do. Pete and Jeremy's DnD-time. This is our invitation to you.
Pete and Jeremy's DnD-time. Pete and Jeremy's DnD. Pete and Jeremy's DnD-time. Pete and Jeremy's DnD.
Hello, everyone.
Welcome back, all. About to hop into our third and final adventure of the evening.
Bartholomew raises his glass.
To old friends and to new beginnings.
We all raise our glasses as well.
Yeah, we
To friendship, yeah.
As he puts down his own drink, Bartholomew's expression hardens.
Very well. This has been a wonderful day, and there's one last thing I'd like to show you. Something that all of you have been working towards, well, this entire time. Would you please come with me?
Okay.
Sure.
Bartholomew stands. He turns to walk toward a side door of the last tavern. A side door that, not dissimilarly from the plants earlier, did not exist moments ago. He motions for you to follow, but as you turn to leave, Roger stands up and kind of joins up with the group of you. Look, guys, I mean, maybe you don't need to see this. Like, life's pretty good, right? I mean,
Yeah?
Yeah.
Indeed.
There is horrors in the world that everyone must come to terms with, Roger. You should know that.
You don't have to, though. You could just stay in the tavern. You could have a drink, go bird watching. I mean, everything that we need is here. And Roger's breathing heavily. He seems very anxious, and he's sweating pretty profusely as he kind of quietly
Roger?
addresses you.
Roger glares at him.
What's wrong?
Look, for Selcress, for your own good, I'm not going to tell you what lies ahead. I can't. Once you step through that doorway, there's no turning back. Once you know something, you can't unknow it. Even modifying your it doesn't work like that. Your very being will be changed.
My being was changed the day I learned my family was killed by demons. If it is worse than that, then there will be something else to plague my nightmares. Let's go.
He looks to you, Selcress, and to you, Lance, and Euchaunkas, like, pleadingly.
Don't worry so much, Roger. We'll come out of this. We'll keep standing with you and Bartholomew. It'll be us fixing the world like it's always been.
He
Yeah,
just
I mean-
shakes his head.
We've been saving the world, I don't know, lots of times now, I guess.
You just don't understand. Fine, then. If I can't convince you, I guess I'll see you on the other side. But really, think about it. before you step through that door. This is a bigger decision than you could ever know. I wish I had this choice, but I never did. Now you do. And Roger rushes ahead through the doorway, leaving you alone in the Last Hope Tavern. All you hear now, the fire having died away to embers in the evening, just the ticking of the grandfather clock, which lies in the corner by the bar.
That didn't sound real good. I don't think I've ever seen Roger like that.
I knew something was up. Bartholomew never visits us, and to bring us through such a day.
Yeah, he's never this nice to us.
Well, we
Be,
haven't come...
be prepared for your lives to end when we pass through this door.
I prepared every day. Once my cousin poisoned my food, but but I was immune to poison, so I showed them with a knife in their back.
You have known murder since you were born, Selcress. This is probably pretty normal for you.
She just gives you a thumbs up.
Are you ready, Lance?
Stuff into my second stomach just in case tonight.
Well, we haven't come all this way fighting all these battles just to turn back now. Lance will pull out his plot device, sending stone, and send a final little blip to Elysia, and, well, as they say, further and further up.
I'm gonna write a note and leave it on the bar for, and say, give it to Gamora. Should I not come back? Give this to Gamora. I give it to the bartender.
There's no bartender right now.
I put it on the table
It
then.
is empty. Okay. You slap it on the bar.
I don't really have anyone to leave a final message to.
You're the mother.
Mom already gave me her approval, and I mean, if I die, it just means I was weak. So.
Let's go into this together, everyone. I grab their hands.
One moment. I go over to the bar, place my holy symbol down, and shocking grasp into the bar. There we go.
The bar is slightly scorched. There's
In the shape of a
little
cloud.
smoke. Yeah, precisely. Burned into it. Do you do it at Switch's spot? Switch is a specific spot at the bar? Or do you just do it, wherever you sit?
No, that'd be a bit too, you know what? If anyone was gonna search for me, if I went missing, it's probably Switch. I'll do it at Switch's spot.
Oh, Switch is gonna be pissed.
I'll also do it at, Crixus' spot.
Okay. I mean, Crix is probably gonna love that. Yeah, your insignia
Selcress will leave
forever
the
burned.
little tiny ice statue of herself in her spot, her milk bar spot.
Aww. Just a tiny Selcress on the chair.
Yep.
Alright.
Lance will place down one of his flasks of bottled moonlight where he usually sits.
So,
Alright.
guys, we've been through a lot, and we're all
Selcress. I put my hand on her head. You don't have to say it. We already know.
I also already read your mind.
Don't do that! Fine, let's go then.
And you all step through the door.
As you leave the tavern, you find that the door connects to the interior of Bartholomew's shop. But as you walk through, the shelves are bare. The curtains are drawn, but the door to the back room remains open. Within, you can hear Bartholomew's footsteps. He appears to be shuffling something in there around. You hear him call. Just in here.
I have my armor ready, just on already, and I've got my hands on my swords.
Selcress is kind of cautiously nudging you guys up. She's behind you all.
Lance has his blade activated but sheathed.
Euchaunkas is calm.
calm as the night before a storm. As you step forward into the back room, much of it remains unchanged. The blade against the far wall begins to jump and rattle as you move in. You still see most of the possessions that lie within are resting in their usual spots. Bartholomew, with a motion of his hand, waves the blade to rest. There's one item that is in a different position than normal. The door. Bartholomew has propped it up in the center of the room, where it's not leaning against anything, but it stands up perfectly up straight. The door is a hard and old-looking oak. It's covered with a layer of dust, which Bartholomew seems to be polishing off. You can hear sounds coming from behind it. You hear what sounds like a crowd cheering. You hear the crash of ocean waves, the rumble of thunder, then a dull murmur of conversation. Bartholomew reaches out and turns a small skeleton key, a brilliant silver, within the lock, and the door falls silent. Bartholomew steps to the side of it. Please, step inside.
Kurogan steps in front of them, of everyone, looks behind him. Well, here we go. He's the first to step inside.
All right. You reach out and you turn the handle. The door is obviously old, but there's no resistance, no sound as you turned it, and it opens easily, soundlessly. As you look to the other side, you are very nearly blinded by the pure white of the space that lies beyond. It appears to be only void within. Do you all step in?
I step in.
Selcress steps in.
Miss Lune guide us through this, or to rest.
Very good.
I
Euchaunkas?
looked at Bartholomew and I was like, no catch. And I just sort of greet him and walk through.
All right. You all enter, and naturally, as you walk into this void, you begin to inspect your surroundings. As you all look and adjust to the space, your eyes grow more accustomed to the light. Despite your predilection and preference for darkness, Selcress, the blinding light doesn't hurt your eyes much more than any torch or any firewood you'd expect it to. And you go back to look at the space where you entered, and that space is gone. And from a point in this void, where none of you are focusing on, but you all lock into it immediately as you hear a sound, a familiar voice calls out to you. Ah, greetings, adventurers. It's good to see you all.
Bartholomew.
Bartholomew?
Bartholomew?
Yeah?
Yes, I have been watching over your progress for some time now. You have all become absolutely splendid adventurers. However, much of what we've done in Bartholomew's Adventuring Guild here has been to prepare you for a particular event. Now, I am going to begin initiating something of a trial or a test in order to see if you are prepared to overcome and, deal with that event. So, are all of you ready to begin?
Yeah.
Yes.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Indeed.
And as Bartholomew is kind of in the midst of his speaking, you begin to hear what sounds like a creaking of wood, and you see another doorway, seemingly identical. It appears just seemingly out of nowhere, directly opposite of Bartholomew. And as the ancient wooden door creaks open, Roger steps out.
No, Bartholomew. They're not. They're not ready. How could they be ready? Was I ready? Was Lyra ready, Bartholomew?
The heroes before you have completed numerous contests of skill, strength, and intellect. They have battled near innumerable foes, they have stared death in the face, and even welcomed it with open arms. They are as prepared as anyone could be.
Prepared as anyone could be? You don't know that! You don't know what it's like, Bartholomew. How can you assess them for a challenge that you yourself have never faced? A challenge that you will never face.
No. I'm a very powerful wizard. I know all manner of spells and incantations and so forth. Such a thing is trivial to me.
Such a thing is trivial to you? Yeah, trivial. Fine then.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Very well. He turns back to face the four of you. In order to receive your promotion, you must best me in combat. I will be your opponent for this battle. And let us begin.
I raise my hand.
I've been waiting for this moment for so long!
Kurogan.
If I may ask, is the trial... Is the event in case you turn evil?
He looks at you, his head kind of turns
He
to the
can't
side.
answer that.
Well, if you're not going to begin, I suppose I am. And in a sudden flash, the entire space around you changes. You are now in what appears to be some kind of desert flatland. It's just dry, cracked earth. You can see a few kind of tumbleweeds rolling around the spaces. There are large kind of cactuses that are kind of growing up, but they are kind of in the distance and few and far between. A desert wind blows up. Bartholomew looks at the group of you. You see, when you're battling for your life, when the world is on its edge, you don't hesitate to strike. And Bartholomew, as his first move in this combat, is going to cast a classic at you. He throws a fireball at the four of you. I need all of you to make me a dexterity saving throw.
I'm actually going to use my first time using Indomitable to reroll that.
Absolutely.
That's better.
That is just enough to save. As he hurls a fireball towards you, a very good one in this instance. The fireball crashes into the ground around you, and the battlefield erupts with sand and grit and smoke from the desert wasteland in which you stand. Bartholomew has taken his action.
Alright, and for those of us that save, that's how much damage?
That is half. Yep.
I take half of that because I have fire resistance.
Yep, so you take only 8 points of damage then.
Yep.
And with that, the fight begins.
Are we pulling initiative, or is it soft initiative?
Roger?
Roger looks to you all, looks to Bartholomew, and he's going to cast a spell upon himself. You see him begin to glow with arcane power. That is all he does.
Okay.
What do you all do?
Or is this just initiative?
Verbal initiative.
Alright, let's go!
Lance will cast Bless at 2nd level to affect everyone. 3rd level to affect Roger too. That's a gamble.
Ooh. Alright, you cast Bless at 3rd level.
Alright, Selcress flashes her banner of enduring vigor. Give everyone 13 temporary hit points.
The cloak spreads out and lashes out. You are all inspired by the beautiful colors of Selcress's incredible rallying banner. Is that an action or a bonus action? That's just an action. Anything else you do on your turn, Selcress? Also, if you wanted to move or do anything else on your turn, Lance, you could have.
Okay, I will spread out just a bit behind everyone.
Oh yeah, because we didn't really roll initiative. I guess bees would have just come out of me because initiative started.
At this instance, the bees kind of activating automated defense of Kurogan, and the bees just kind of rush out of your kind of pauldron, or actually, I'm sorry, the core of the Knight's Crest, and begin to swarm Bartholomew. And he just kind of, they begin kind of stinging at his face.
Nobody likes bees.
And that's automatically happens. What do you do on your turn?
Yeah, on my turn, I am going to put 4 into my Dragon's Claws wield both of my my great sword and my reaver, charge
Excellent.
at him, and 2 strikes with the dragon. That probably doesn't hit anyone. Also, it deals fire damage, which he cannot resist even if he's immune.
Okay. As you go and slam your dragon greatsword down on Bartholomew on that second hit, he throws up his hand, and he speaks out a word that is familiar to you, and he just calls out, "Shield!" But as he does so, there's a weight to it that is unfamiliar. It vibrates as he uses power word shield. He negates the attack and takes no damage from it.
Well, actually, I already used my bonus action to put stuff into my shield, so I'm going to action surge.
All right.
And my second action to attack again.
All right, strike again. An 18 is just gonna miss in this instance, as like it seems like it would have hit, but the residual of the power word shield is still kind of hanging down. But the second strike, as you bring it down for your crit, it just smashes through the shield, now weakened after that first instant moment, and strikes for
a lot of damage.
A lot of damage.
And then also bonus action, attack again. But this one doesn't get the strength bonus because it's it's an offhand attack.
But a 29 is going to hit. For a hearty sum of damage on that one as well. For a grand total of...
it doesn't add the strength mod as well.
Oh, yes, of course.
So it's actually -5 that. So it's actually 13.
Okay, 13 plus 22 plus 6, 28, 13... Damn. All right. Gotta make sure I keep track. Okay, good. You slam the dragon greatsword down onto him, and it cuts across the side of his cheek. Anything else on your? I mean, that's quite a turn already. Anything else on your turn?
That's my turn. That's all I can do.
Just good, Kurogan. Good.
Selcress is gonna go over to.
I believe. Wait, has Euchaunkas gone yet? Or actually, Selcress, you took your action.
Yeah, you
already did your. If you have a bonus action remove, you can do that.
Yeah, I'm gonna move to Lance and stick near him.
Okay. All right, Euchaunkas.
Well, old reliable. Call lightning.
Oh wait, sorry, I forgot something. Because I have blessed, the first attack possibly could have hit.
What would that put you to? Go ahead and just roll it.
20.
Actually, it's not going to get you there.
Okay, that's fine.
All right. In that case, you're going to call lightning.
Yep.
All right. Bartholomew is going to look at you. Your greatest weapons will be turned against you. And he raises his hand, and another spell that you're familiar with. You know the classic spell, Counter Spell. Bartholomew in this moment casts what it seems to be just that, but instead uses Counter Steal, as he not only counters your spell, but he takes control of your Call Lightning out from underneath you. I want you to make me a dexterity saving throw.
He needs to make an ability check.
Call Lightning is not a 3rd level or lower spell.
It's a 4th level spell because I cast it at 4th.
Oh, my mistake. You're correct. He does.
A good chance, but it's always worth it. Those crit fails are the best.
It's a 17. I think that's going to do it.
Yep.
As I do now need you to make me a dexterity saving throw. Do you have a that is going to barely succeed since it's your spell casting that he's controlling here. You're going to take half of that damage. So that's going to be a total of 31 points of lightning damage. So 15 to you as the lightning bolt crashes down directly on top of you.
Ouch. I'll take a greater healing potion.
All right. As a bonus action, you chug a greater healing potion.
Move away.
Yeah, you step backwards. The cloud still rumbles in the sky above you.
And we're on our turn, Pete.
Yeah. Bartholomew on his turn is going to look over at you, Lance. You see in an instant, he just appears next to you. He's just standing next to you, and he is going to use Bartholomew's big sheath bonanza. Bartholomew, you see the bag that he has slung over his shoulder. He pulls it down to its side, and it seems to transform into a sheath. From within, he kind of puts his hand on it, and something just materializes within it. It appears in this instance to be a very large lance in the shape of a Christmas tree, as Bartholomew will strike you with the solstice tree.
Does he have disadvantage being within 5 feet of me with a lance?
Yeah, absolutely. Let me roll it again. Just a moment, please.
Oh man, that's consistent.
That's 15. As he strikes you for 15 points of damage.
It should have been a 13.
Oh, you're right. I'm sorry. The 13 points of damage.
Got a lot we're juggling at the moment, guys.
Yep, indeed. And that is all for Bartholomew's turn. Just gonna use his big
wow. And bless
that's rough.
Roger, already glowing with blue eldritch power, is going to materialize a eldritch blade. It kind of appears in his hand, growing out like a spectral blue short sword, and he is going to charge forward at near lightning speed at you, Lance. And he is going to swing an eldritch blade upon you.
Oh my.
What's your armor class?
23.
It's a bonus action for him to cast, and then he's going to make a cantrip. He's going to cast Booming Blade as he swings this at you. So it's a... Oh, we got to set this so you can see it.
Yep, I did the same thing.
Haha. So he swings at you. Why is it not rolling to hit? Alright. Why are you not... Alright, well, I'll just roll his short sword attack because it's the exact same. So, it's a 27 to hit.
That definitely hits.
Ignore the slashing damage there. It's going to do the psychic or the force damage from the Eldritch Blade. And then the Booming Blade. You take an additional 16 thunder. You take
if
19...
I move.
Yeah, no, you take 16 on hit and 21 if you move.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, so you take 19, 29, 35 points of damage from that. And then... What was that?
Does Bartholomew have more than one reaction?
Who knows?
It seems that he did.
Okay.
And Roger...
How much damage was that in total?
35. And then if you move, there's another 21.
Okay.
And then he will use his hasted action, as he is currently hasted, to take a swing at Selcress with the same weapon, as Selcress moved over toward you. So Selcress, this is against you, 17 to hit.
Yep.
Oh, okay. So that's going to hit you for... Ignore the slashing damage there.
Yeah.
It's going to hit you for 16 points of force damage. Another 14 fire on you, and then Lance, you're going to take 7 fire.
Oh my.
And so 30 points total to you, Selcress, 7 to you, Lance, and that is the end of Roger's turn currently. He stands next to you, kind of panting with seemingly like anger, and he says, "Your best friends will betray you."
Very good, Roger.
And then he grits his teeth angrily, also at Bartholomew. That's the end of it. What are you guys gonna do?
Roger, that's a risky business, isn't it? As I will dispel his magic.
You're gonna dispel his... What are you trying to dispel?
Is it a single effect, or do I just dispel magic on him? Okay, magical effect. I will dispel his haste. I believe
no, you can choose the creature. You can choose the creature.
Oh, then I will dispel magic on Roger.
Okay. I need you to roll a one ability check for the blade, Eldritch Blade.
Oof.
All right. So he keeps the Eldritch Blade, and he doesn't have counterspell because I decided not to give him counterspell. So yeah, his haste and his mage armor both. Oh, I need to roll one more actually as well. The DC for it is 18.
Oh Jesus, what spell is that on him?
Yeah,
Man,
that's
I
the spell.
cannot get a roll on.
So Roger kind of stands there, somewhat stunned, but somehow still retaining his concentration on his blade despite his stunned state. But yeah, you have dispelled 2 of his effects and potentially incapped him for a turn. Probably incapped him for a turn.
As a bonus action, I will chug one of my healing potions. Which, give me 1 second, roll 20s being slow. I will roll.
Ah, yes, always wise to carry a healing potion.
Anyone else want to go while you drink your healing?
Yeah,
potion?
Selcress in the meantime.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's gonna snap her fingers and do her infernal decree.
A sudden chill bites the air, and Levi grows and swells to an immense size, as he is now a full barbed devil.
Yep.
Levi, get him!
And Levi, who is right next to her,
Bartholomew
will,
turns.
yeah, her. He's gonna do his multi-attack.
Swing away.
Yep. He's gonna do 2 of these on Roger, or 1 of these on Roger, and the rest.
You have advantage against Roger, currently.
Okay, I'll just roll that twice then.
Yep.
So that one's for Roger. He
8 to
takes
Roger?
piercing. Yeah.
Yep. Roger's gonna take 8 points of slashing damage or piercing damage. Oh god, those are vicious claws.
Yeah.
Those are shanky claws. Yeah.
He's the shakiest claws. And then Levi turns to Bartholomew and uses another claw. Tail.
21 hits, a 14 does not. As you strike, Bartholomew takes an additional 5 points of piercing damage. And is that your turn, or that's it? Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
That's a rough heel roll. All right, yeah, you slash into Bartholomew. You see it kind of like glance a little bit off the robe. I mean, he's wearing just a regular. He's wearing just a regular kind of wizard's robe, but obviously it's magically protected. You can almost hear the sound of it striking steel as it hits him. And I believe that brings us to Kurogan.
Yes. One thing first. Did he take the 10B damage from the last round?
He absolutely did.
All right.
The bees are still fluttering. A lot of them have crawled into his beard, which has become a mess. Anything that was left of that shop is long gone. And Bartholomew's kind of stretching. Yes, everyone hates bees. I know. I made it. And
I'm charging back and attacking again because I'm just gonna do that.
Yeah, please do.
24.
24 is gonna hit. For 13
21
damage. 21 is also gonna hit.
For 26 more damage, and then an offhand with natural 20.
As you reach this third attack towards him, Bartholomew once again is going to use Power Word Shield and block the natural 20 on your Reaver Strike. The shield, burning that. The shield just appears before it, and you feel it like grate into it, and it almost looks visually as like the Reaver Strike falls down towards it. It is an unstoppable force meeting an immovable object, and hands seem to like reach up within the shield made of just pure force, like slowing and grabbing the blade, and more of them kind of reach out and just grab your arm at the point of like the fulcrum to slow the momentum even from your muscles, and the axe stops a fraction of a centimeter away from Bartholomew's face.
Dirty trick! I know it too well!
Perhaps I could teach you that one someday, if you survive here.
Lance, one last thing. Can you roll me actually one more wisdom check?
But that was 30 damage total you did, right?
16 plus 14, yeah, 30 damage.
Okay,
That was
great.
good.
One day I will roll above
Stop
the
rolling terribly!
No, keep it up. I like it.
Hey, I'm aiding the shit roll so you can get those crits.
I mean,
And at the end of your turn,
I mean, that's true now.
Bartholomew is going to use a legendary action at the end of your turn. Bartholomew appears in front of Selcress, face to face.
We're all pretty close together, so.
What would you say? What did you say? Sorry.
Bartholomew has now appeared in front of you, and he says, "Hello, Selcress."
Hi, old man.
That is going to then, I believe, bring us to Euchaunkas.
Well, what's the deal with bonus action spell?
We'll use Jeremy's rules.
y'all good, buddy.
Yep.
Okay. My cloud is still up there, but I'm not concentrating on it.
No, you still are.
Can I use it?
It feels like you still have control over it. It didn't seem
Okay.
like he had complete control over the cloud, just that one strike.
Okay. I will use it on him.
All right. He's going to make a dexterity saving throw, yes?
Yep.
He has lesser cheating, so he will have advantage on saving throws against magic.
Wait, Pete, you too?
Uh,
Still
me-
failed.
Yeah, he's going to fail. He's not super dexterous. Bartholomew still moves with the body of an old man to a degree, and as he goes to step back, the lightning strikes down directly on top of him. You watch as, even as he's being stung by bees, the beard and the hair, the hat kind of flies off his head a little bit, and he kind of.
Yes, 40 damage is quite a bit.
Oh, you're maxing it.
Ooh.
40 damage is quite a bit.
Very well.
And he kind of. And he looks over at you. Anything else on your turn?
Think fast, Bartholomew.
And that's also going to hit, as you say. Actually, wait. Nope, that still barely hits, even though I used shield this round. The spiritual weapon swings around and crashes into the side of.
Punches him right in the face.
Oh yes, with the punchy cloud. I just like think fast, and he looks over at you, and then the cloud just comes into the side. And he's just almost in slow mo as his head gets knocked away. Anything else on your turn?
I mean, no, I'm good.
He's going to use a legendary action at the end of your turn to go ahead and attack you, Selcress. He's going to use his big sheath bonanza on you.
Is he close enough to me, like within... Actually, how far is Selcress from us?
Selcress is a little bit separated from you because you dived in, and then Bartholomew has teleported around a little bit. It looks like he doesn't move. He just is where he wants to be. So
I see.
Yeah. So he's gotten a little bit of a way away from you at this point.
Was he next to Roger?
At the beginning, they were a little bit farther apart. You guys were all grouped up. Then Kurogan charged. So
Roger
Euchaunkas,
was with Lance.
Lance and Selcress are all bundled up with Kurogan, but I think you're like.
Oh no, I moved away from everyone.
Yeah. Okay, that's what it was. And he went to
But
Euchaunkas. I'll give it to you. I think we're a little bit confused, so I'll give it to you. You can go ahead and use your protection fighting style, so it'll have disadvantage. Bartholomew's big sheath bonanza. Let's see what we got. That's a 10. All right, let's see what is in.
It's actually a 5.
Oh, well, the
I don't know how that works.
yeah, that's just him pulling out, choosing which weapon it is.
Oh, okay.
It's a random number
Selcress.
from 1 to 20.
He looks at you. This was actually made by the Drow people, and he's going to actually make 3 attacks against you. As the first is at disadvantage, and then
Yeah.
1 more, or 2 more rather. Oh, they shouldn't all. Wait, yeah, I did that right. So 21 is going to hit.
I think they're all going to hit, right?
20, yeah, then 21 and 26 for a total of 15 points of bludgeoning damage. As you watch, he holds out this rod, and then just a stream of tentacles pour out from it. I need you to also make me a Constitution saving throw since all of them struck.
Okay, 2 times or?
Just one.
Just one.
Okay. Cool.
You. Oh wait, you're no
And
longer
I'm
under
gonna
bless.
use Dark Ones on luck.
Absolutely.
Add a 6 to that.
Yeah, you
Nice.
succeed. You begin to feel an incredible fatigue overtake you as these tentacles seem to be like pushing some kind of poison into you. And then you kind of shrug it off. You're a drow. You deal with poison every day.
Yeah,
and
my cousin tried to poison me.
and the tentacles kind of pull back into the rod and it goes back into the sheath. Very good. Well, I believe that it is our turn.
So that was what?
Take B damage.
Wait, how much damage was that? Sorry.
15.
Yeah, not much. 15.
Where is Roger in all this?
Roger,
Reaction,
hear
I typically
Bartholomew?
play for that.
Roger and Bartholomew were on opposite sides of Lance at the end of the last turn.
Okay.
So, I think...
Roger, you want to go first? Bartholomew's going to use a legendary action in a second.
Yeah, Roger goes first. He's stunned, or not really stunned, but he's bleh because of the haste going away. But it's weird, Lance, you see one of those spells that you were unable to thwart glow, and his body glows, and arcane wings sprout on his back, and he just begins to kind of hover in the air, kind of stupefied. As he seems to now be under the effect of fly.
A contingency?
A contingency.
Oh, Jeremy. All right. If you couldn't tell, we don't know all of each other's stat blocks perfectly. And in that case, at Bartholomew's turn, he's going to use a legendary action. And he looks down at the group of you, and... Ah, yes. When you are on the verge of a difficult battle, you don't know when you could lose your feet. And you are no longer standing in a desert wasteland. All of a sudden, you are just upwards in the sky. And instantly, all of you fall 60 feet as you begin plummeting towards the ground far below.
Uh-oh.
Bartholomew still floating in the air. Roger, who seems to have anticipated this coming, you see him still kind of there floating with his wings flying next to Bartholomew, looking down at you. As in this instance, too fast to respond, you find yourself moving downwards. That is going to be all for Bartholomew's turn at this particular time. What do you all do?
Bonus
You're falling-
action, put 1 point into my wings. And
Do you have enough for the claws still?
Yes,
Awesome.
because I have 5 total points right now.
Yes.
And I used 1 point. I can't access
Yeah.
anything in my inventory right now, but I don't need to. I have what I need right now.
Oh wait, Bartholomew took B damage. Gotta make sure.
Yeah, B damage. Don't forget those Bs.
Gotta mark that.
Yeah.
He'd be damaged.
So, would it take an action to stop Selcress from falling?
Don't worry about me, I got myself.
To pick her up, it would, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Levi's still,
In that case-
Levi's also falling.
Yeah, don't
Yeah.
worry about me, I got this.
Okay. In that case, I'm going up to Bartholomew. I'm gonna fly. Well, actually, since it's still in my bonus action phase, I'm going to divert the wing from my claws to the dragon's fire. So it's 4 in my dragon's fire, so I can have the dragon's fire stuff, and so my shield comes back as well. And 1 in my wings.
Okay.
And that's my bonus action. And I am going.
Bonus action.
Yeah, that's all my bonus action.
Cool bonus action.
And so I'm going to, after moving 30 feet back towards you guys, so I'm like 30 feet away, or if not a little more, because I was already a little away from. Actually, no, I wasn't. I was right up against Bartholomew. So I'm 30 feet away from Bartholomew. And I am going to let's see. Are Bartholomew and Roger like close together?
Not right now. Roger's
Okay.
just kind of floating in the air.
Maybe 30 feet apart.
Then I'm going to use Chromatic Orb at 4th level, using a 2nd level spell slot.
Bartholomew or Roger?
At Bartholomew. He's my main target right now.
All right.
22 to hit.
Bartholomew is going to use Counter Steal on you. The same thing he did to Euchaunkas before.
No, he doesn't have to roll because it's a 4th level slot.
Yeah, but he does have to roll for it because of the slot. And he can fail. Despite his overwhelming intelligence. But a 15 just barely actually succeeds. That was a DC 14. You watch, Kurogan, as your chromatic orb blasts at him. As soon as it's about to hit Bartholomew, he kind of puts a hand up into the air and catches the fireball. It seems to rotate around him and whip back outwards towards you. That's a 22 to hit at you.
And then I shield using my
Awesome.
reaction.
That's so radical. All right. This
is an awesome fight already, by the way.
As the chromatic orb comes whipping around back towards you, your shield goes up. What damage type was it?
It would have been fire.
All right. Yeah, the fire kind of pours over the shield, blocking the strike against you. Anything else on your turn?
That's all I have for right now.
All right. I believe actually it should have been Lance first, but you guys can kind of your initiative on your turn. You guys can kind of choose your order.
You can be fluid. I'm marking down who goes.
Yeah.
How far away is the ground?
Very far.
Okay,
Yep.
so no reason to start taking reactions to not fall to our deaths just yet. So I will burn a second level spell slot, having realized my gamble was a failure, to re-bless us all.
Okay.
And if I heard correctly, there are no bonus action spells?
No, you're good.
Oh, we are good?
No, you're good. You're good.
Oh, okay. Then I will bonus action Sanctuary myself.
Okay.
We got blessed back, my boys.
Bartholomew is going to use one of his legendary actions, not a legendary action, and he is going to throw down towards. He's going to send one hurtling towards you, Euchaunkas, a classic firebolt, just a cantrip.
He misses.
Fair enough. He throws a firebolt at you, and you dodge it.
That's a high damage firebolt.
Yeah, the 4d10 is pretty big. Yep, that's that legendary action. A couple people have not gone yet.
Yep, we're looking at Selcress and Euchaunkas still. Plummeting down to their fall. To their maybe death? Who knows?
Selcress is gonna grab onto Levi because he was right next to her when they started falling. And she's gonna cast Fly on him and mount up.
Excellent.
Now, you can target 2 other creatures because you cast at a 5th level, right?
Yeah, I do. So.
So everyone flies.
So everyone flies.
We're fine, guys.
Oh my.
It's fine.
You're flying now, guys.
Euchaunkas, Levi, and Lance. Are those the 3 you're picking?
Yeah.
Awesome.
I will catch back up to the group.
And then
That'll do.
Levi's gonna use Hurl Flame at Roger.
Ooh.
Roger is not currently stupefied, but a 24. His AC is fairly low right now, so that will definitely hit. And the 21 will also definitely hit. 13. All right, so 20. All right, 13 total damage.
Yeah. Eat that, Roger!
You made a mistake, Lance.
Quick
I
on
make
your
a lot of them.
press. That's good. You need to be ready to adapt. And Euchaunkas.
Where are we in relation to my cloud? Was that brought with us?
Your cloud does not seem to be in this scene, so to speak.
Okay. Did Punchy Cloud come?
Yeah.
Punchy cloud? Yeah, punchy cloud's there.
Okay.
The big atmospheric cloud, no, but the punchy cloud, of course.
Right, yes. Yeah, okay. Punchy Cloud's gonna punch Bartholomew.
Yep, still right next to him. And just, I never see it coming. As he gets smacked again by Punchy Cloud. 4. Nice. Yeah, that's a strong Punch Cloud. 15 more points of damage.
And, I'll shoot him with a guiding bolt.
Alright.
At 17 hit.
A
Wait a
17.
minute. Hold on. I do have bless. I don't know if that matters, but
It absolutely does, and it does, because 19 does hit.
I have to question that higher level cast 0.49 times 2 d8. What?
It's a formula to determine the number of d8s. Don't
Oh.
worry, it's correct.
Yeah, that's really weird.
All right. Well, here we go.
Another 20 points of radiant damage. Another sizable strike. And Bartholomew now glows with a radiant light. That's gonna be...
Our turn, Pete. It's our turn.
Oh, that's my favorite turn.
Bee damage.
No, not the bees. He continues to take his bee damage, and then he's at a bigger health. All right. Roger, you want to take it away?
Yeah, Roger looks at you, Lance. He's flying about 30 feet in the air above you, I think, at this point. Because you said you flew back up to your allies.
Indeed.
So Roger looks at you, and he says, I wasn't gonna do this. And Roger goes to cast a spell. Hearing no reaction as it happens.
I don't think any of us can stop it.
Okay.
I can.
That's what
I'm
you just...
hesitant to.
I'm leaving the option open if you care about it.
I have one spell slot left.
Yeah, that's why I was asking. Can I hold on to it for now?
Yeah, I'm gonna hold on to it.
Roger casts Time Stop. And Roger's gonna take 5 turns.
Oh.
So you just see Roger stand there, he's just floating there, and then in less than a blink of an eye, there are 4 Rogers floating in the air, all just glowing with arcane power. As suddenly, the multiple Rogers look down at you. You've made a terrible mistake, Lance. And he is going to fly directly at you. He's wielding 2 arcane swords now? Where'd that come from?
Bring forth.
So, let's start out with his
Don't forget all
first
those
one.
wisdom saves against Sanctuary.
Oh, that's right. He's got to make a wisdom save against Sanctuary. I totally forgot about that. What kind of spell is Sanctuary? It's an abjuration, right?
I do believe so.
So I think he just has to roll wisdom save. So. He is proficient in, but that might not matter. 13.
That's a fail.
All right. In that case, he'll attack probably the next closest thing. Nearest to you. Is Selcress still up there with you?
Selcress is still like 60 feet down on Levi's back. He's like, he went like further away to get range.
Okay. Yeah, he'll fly over to Kurogan then and fight Kurogan.
Oh, hello, Roger.
Hey, Kurogan, you want to see great and powerful? And he's gonna.
Yeah, I do every time I look in the mirror.
He slashes at you with. Oh, that's not what he casts. Ignore that. He swings a sword at you.
Miss.
Hit. Okay.
My shield's still up, yet he beat a 25.
Yep. And then he is going to swing a booming blade at you. Oh, whoops! He's got to roll to hit with that first. So.
Yeah, he does.
Yep. That's a 30. Oh, it's an actual 20. Wow.
That does hit.
Yep.
Oh.
So instead, ignore that slashing damage there. You're gonna take, well, gonna take 21, and I guess we're gonna double that, aren't we? Because he crit. So, okay, you're gonna take 21. You're gonna take 34 points of thunder damage, as well as 11 points of force damage. All right. And that's what he's got right now. He'll take an action surge because he's got that. So he'll take his action surge.
Where's the 20? Where's the? Which one is it that's supposed to be doing the damage?
The ignore. So the Mordenkainen sword missed you. And then the 21 thunder damage from the booming blade. Thunder damage from the crit.
13 plus 13.
What?
Wait. What? I'm confused right now.
The top booming blade before the sword?
13 plus 11. Okay, so it's 21 there. Okay.
No, he doesn't do the 11. The 11 was slashing. Ignore that. He got you for 34 thunder. And 11
Okay.
between his critical hit.
So what was the total damage? What was the total damage?
34, 44. 44 points.
Alright.
And that was going to take his action surge. So he can take one additional action, and he will swing with another booming blade at Actually, he'll swing with his morning kind of swing. He misses. Cool. That's the end of his turn for now.
On Bartholomew's turn, Selcress, as soon as you cast Fly, Bartholomew kind of looks down at you, and then he's just right up in your face again as he was before. Selcress, you were very quick on your feet before, and as you all see Selcress now, Bartholomew kind of speaking to her, his mouth is moving, but you can't hear any of the words that he's saying, and he calls out to you, Selcress, I don't suggest that you tell anyone about this. I just need you to make a decision. Let's play a game I call Bartholomew's Choice. Shall your friend Euchaunkas be poisoned, or your friend Lance exhausted? And he just looks at you.
You're asking me?
Yes. I'm asking you. What is your decision?
Well, what if I don't choose?
I can take it, Selcress.
Yeah,
You don't hear this going on at all.
Oh, fair enough.
Bartholomew looks at you and just shrugs. Make a choice, Selcress. You don't have much time.
Alright, Euchaunkas can get poisoned.
Euchaunkas, all of a sudden you feel your heart beats in your chest. And you hear Selcress kind of call out, Euchaunkas, you can get poisoned. And you are under the effects of the poisoned condition.
Okay.
And Bartholomew has finished his turn. That is his action. He has used Bartholomew's Choice. That is,
Just saying, Roger's turn, when he ends, he's got to roll a d20 to see if he blinks out of existence, and I think he does.
Oh,
So
Roger disappears.
Yep.
And that is the end of Bartholomew's turn. It is the collected use.
Are you okay, Euchaunkas?
I'm poisoned.
Yeah, I know. Is that okay?
It's not great.
I can fix
Sorry.
that soonish.
The first to act, I think, in this kind of setting was, I believe, you.
Yeah, but
Kurogan.
you can be fluid with your turn.
Yeah.
Alright, I will bonus action second wind.
Are you
Alright.
sure?
That hurdle-
You
that-
want Lance to go first?
You know what, Lance, go first. If you really want to go first, I'll let you go first.
Thank you. I really want you to second wind. It's just, I will channel divinity, the she who guides, as Lance is going to cast that super underloved beacon of hope.
Ooh.
So anytime we regain hit points that have a die, we regain the maximum number of the die as opposed to every roll line.
I mean, I have that anyway. That's built into me, but sure.
I'm sorry this turn is useless to you, Selcress, but
Do I hear a
yeah.
chug?
you know what? You probably do hear a chug. Lance will take another one of his potions. This time it will heal for
10. Yes. Alright, a beacon of hope appears in the sky around you.
Then I guess I'll go.
Yeah, Kurogan, go ahead.
I will second wind for maximum, which is 19 for me.
Alright.
And that's my bonus action, and I'm just gonna go and look back at Bartholomew, who's still 30 feet away from me, but because I basically just turn around and oh, there he is again. Whatever. And you're gonna get another chromatic orb thrown at you at 4th level.
Alright, go ahead and make an attack roll.
Alright. At 4th level. 22.
What damage type? Type.
That's gonna be fire.
Fire damage? Alright, he's gonna let it crash into him this time. It hits him kind of right in the back of the head. The fire kind of pours over the side of him.
29 points of damage.
He looks very singed. And 29 points of damage. You guys are doing a lot of damage. That's all I have to say about that. Just a lot of damage. So that's alright. Excellent. Is there anything else on your turn?
I'm moving closer to him. 30 feet.
All right, yes,
you're kind of right on top of him.
Yeah,
now.
you're right now, right on top of him. And at the end of your turn, he's actually going to use a legendary action to look at you. And Bartholomew's big sheath bonanza you. Right as you get in range, he kind of whips around and removes something from his sheath. Let's see what it is.
Oh my.
17. Let's see what that is. That is going to be.
I don't know what that means.
That is going to be Oblivion Edge.
Oh gosh!
Oh no.
That sounds bad.
That does sound bad.
No, it didn't crit. We're good.
Oh, it didn't crit. You're fine.
Thank fuck.
You take 13 points of slashing damage as Bartholomew removes from his sheath what appears to be a pure black blade. As it kind of strikes at you, you feel some of like the edge of the blade, like pieces of your armor just seem to like disintegrate off. And Bartholomew goes, "Not a great swing," and puts it back into the sheath.
I like that blade. I want one of those.
Does that do the thing?
It does a thing.
God damn it!
It does the thing.
Oh god.
Oh dear.
All I know is I'm glad I didn't crit.
Yeah, so am I.
Yes.
And that's going to bring us to anyone. I believe Lance and
Euchaunkas, do you
Kurogan
wanna go?
have already gone.
Yeah, I'll drink a greater healing potion.
You gain, what is that?
20?
20, yeah.
Okay.
Funny how that works out.
And I'll shatter, since I'm sort of sickly. I will shatter on Bartholomew.
Alright. He's going to make a,
Steal
what
it.
is-
Do it.
Do it, old man.
He's not gonna. He's gonna go ahead and take that. What's the con save?
Yeah.
He's not particularly good at this, but
Oh, he's got the elderly constitution.
he does have advantage. So it's a 9.
So he takes 9 damage.
He does. He got him. He got him for 9. He's at 250. He goes as you hit him with that shatter. He just looks you in the eyes and goes, "Ow!
Yeah, I bet that hurt.
I've been struck by a spell."
Yeah. What are you gonna do about it? Nothing.
I'm going to kill you, Euchaunkas.
Doubt it.
And yeah, Selcress. Or you still have Punchy Cloud?
Yeah, punch.
I drank a potion, so.
Oh, yes.
Alright, Selcress time.
Selcress time.
Levi just taps on his shoulder.
Oh yes. He turns around,
Yes.
leaning into it.
Yeah.
You know he knows. You know he has like 120 feet of true sight.
Yeah.
But he does know that Levi's there. But he does still turn into it.
Yeah. There are 2 Eldritch Blasts coming at his face.
Oh, that's actually not what I thought you were doing. But the 12 is unfortunately going to miss, but the 17 is going to hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
Alright.
For 12 points of cold damage and/or force damage, which strikes Bartholomew just.
Yep.
That was a low-down tactic, Selcress. I thought better of you.
Oh, really? How about this then? And then Levi's going to unleash his claws.
All right, go ahead.
Hiya! Hiya!
Hit.
Ah.
Hit. Nice. That is going to be another 17. Wait,
That's like
is that right?
20...
23. There we go.
23, yeah.
Okay.
It's our turn, Pete.
Legendary action at the
10
end.
10B damage.
Yeah. Thank you. Please say it every time, because I will probably forget if you don't. And Bartholomew, on legendary action of your turn, zips back up about 60 feet away from all of you again, and just kind of moves backward into space.
Does he provoke opportunity attacks?
No, he just moves. He just vanishes and moves. And Roger?
Roger reappears, and it's weird. As he reappears from wherever plane he blinked away to, he seems to be wearing like a rebreather and a yellow fire helmet, in addition to his weird eldritch layout. And yeah, he is going to fly at probably Kurogan again. Let's go with Kurogan again. Kurogan, how are you? doing all right?
30 feet away, and I'm okay.
Okay.
Fine. Everything is fine.
Okay. No, I'm just making sure this is a. Yes, it is a bonus action. So he's gonna bonus action swing his sword at the Eldritch sword. Oh gosh, misses with that.
Yeah, it's just. It's not there.
Swing his Eldritch blade as well. I should just get rid of the damage on this short sword because he's just using it. So he's gonna swing his short sword at you in a 17.
You know that wouldn't hit, and it's not going to. So sorry.
Oh, of course. That's all that Roger is actually gonna do that turn. It's pretty little. Wow.
Is Roger gonna blink out again?
Yeah, he's gone. He disappears.
Yeah, Roger disappears again. Bartholomew says, Bartholomew kind of holds out his hand, and you see another fireball begin to conjure the same way he started out the battle. He conjures another fireball and tosses it down towards you, Kurogan, and it whizzes over your shoulder and past you. Bartholomew speaks up to you. What is more important to all of you? Do you attack the enemy before you, or do you help the good people of DnDTime? And as the fireball moves past you, it reaches a point and explodes as suddenly the terrain around you shifts again, and you are amongst Central City. Towering skyscrapers rise up, and the fireball explodes at the base of a skyscraper nearby. People begin to scream, and the fire instantly spreads out, down and around, instantly moving. The fire seeming to take on a life of its own to some of the surrounding buildings. The massive skyscraper itself seems to begin to toddle and fall over down towards the central kind of commissary where a lot of these people are hanging out. You guys are not too high above it, but you are flying above the scene, Bartholomew flying a little bit higher above it, as the skyscraper begins to move like it's going to topple and kill many, many people in this crowded space. And that is Bartholomew's turn as he uses his next legendary action. That is going to, I believe, bring us to anyone who's going to go.
You focus on Bartholomew and them. I'll help the people. I have one final.
Are you
gift for
sure,
all.
Lance?
We can't just let Central City burn.
I have a
Obviously.
question. Never mind. That's probably not.
What was your question?
Yeah, what's your question?
Can you banish objects?
It's a creature, unfortunately.
That's cool. But unfortunately not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna banish a skyscraper?
Yeah, let's go banish this.
Would have been rad as hell, but unfortunately not.
Okay. How
So,
many fire things are down there?
What was that?
How many fire things are down there?
It's just the one building that's ablaze, but it seems to be spreading quickly.
Guys, I have the perfect thing for this, maybe, actually. How much does this carry? Give me a sec. I don't think it can lift more than 80. I think the building is heavier than 8,000 pounds, so never mind.
Probably. But what's your play going to be?
Leaving my allies with one final gift before I go to save the good people of Central City. I'm going to do that big old move as I cast Mass Cure Wounds at level 5. Ignore the
But it's also
security.
just max, yeah.
Yeah, no, I have it set auto roll max because Selcress.
Okay, yeah.
And
wow.
ignore the extra 6. As we all get that sweet, sweet bonus 35.
I love that you have that on your character sheet for Selcress. You will hurt for 41 points. Oh my god.
Ignore the radiant. It's just the 35.
Yeah, that's my divine strike that I always forget to tick off.
Alright, at the end of your turn, Bartholomew's going to use a legendary action. I'm sorry, you're moving as well, right?
I begin flying down as quick as I can to the good people of Central City. I don't think I have enough action economy left, but my basic goal is using my ability of flight to essentially fly over with my portable hull, scooping up as many people as I can and dumping them in safety, and then swooping back through as many times as I can.
I love it. All right, so you go down, you ready your portable hole. I think as you're getting down there, the first citizen that you're going to catch in it, they're just kind of screaming and running away from you, and they look up at you, just kind of, oh god, they look towards you, huh? And the portable hole just covers them in as you begin to butterfly net the citizens of DnDTime. That is going to be a legendary action from Bartholomew, who's in front of you, Euchaunkas.
Hello.
Greetings, Euchaunkas. It's good to see you. And that is that legendary action. Who's next?
Wait.
Was his
I haven't.
just to say hello.
Oh, he's to move in front of Euchaunkas with teleportation.
Okay.
So yeah, I was like, what? Okay. So I'm going to. I'm actually just gonna go over to Bartholomew. Just fly over to Bartholomew.
And just hit him?
Actually, I'm not gonna hit him. I'm gonna breathe in his face with a breath weapon that does max damage, 20 fire damage automatically.
All right. Dex save?
Yeah, dex save.
That is going to succeed,
Half
unfortunately.
damage, 10
as he does
anyway.
take 10 points of damage. Regardless, as the fire breath empowered, you kind of hear inside of your suit the...
And then I'm going to bonus action, divert power back into my claws.
Alright, the claws extend once more as you're kind of like, there's like the extra kind of like vents around the points where you like emit your magic and around your like neck for the fire breath. Those retract inwards. Anything else on your turn, Kurogan?
No.
Alright, that's going to bring us to someone else. It doesn't bring us to anyone in particular. Lance and Kurogan have already gone. Euchaunkas, Selcress.
Lance looks like he's got it in hand, so... Levi's gonna fly up to Bartholomew.
Alright.
And, we're gonna have some fun. Help! Sorry, excuse us.
It sounds like a dog has entered the scene.
No, I'm fine. Eldritch Blast, go! Quickly! Distract from Doggo.
You strike twice with your Eldritch Blast. Go ahead and roll damage. 14 and 12. A hearty 26 points of Eldritch Blast damage. And then I imagine something else happens.
Oh yeah, and then Levi's going to unleash his Fury of Barbs. Flurry of
And
Barbs?
a 10 does not hit, but the other two do. Your grand total damage, 26, 31, 39 points of damage. Woo!
39. Those were the what?
That's total with the Eldritch Blast.
Oh, with the Eldritch Blast. Okay,
Yeah.
never mind.
Yep.
How much hit him for so far?
Let me finish that math, and I will tell you that you've now hit him for 297 points of damage collectively.
Jeez.
That's where we're at. Bartholomew's, you see he's got some like blood dripping from a few spots, and he is looking like he's maybe a little bit beat up.
Little bit beat up.
Euchaunkas.
You are uncomfortably close, Bartholomew.
Oh wait, I'm sorry. At the end of Selcress's turn, Bartholomew says to you, "That was so I could do this," as he uses his big sheath bonanza upon you. And Bartholomew's going to roll the big sheath bonanza. Oh no, on Euchaunkas. 15, and we'll see what that is. Bartholomew reaches into his sheath, and he actually is going to, he's actually going to fire it at you, and he shoots at you with this, and his magic, like, crossbow. Does a 17 hit?
No.
He goes, he fires the light crossbow, and it kind of whizzes over your shoulder as you almost instantly move your head out of the way, and he goes, "Oh." He looks at it, "Good thing that missed, that would have healed you." And he puts it back in the,
Joke's
the
on you, Bartholomew. I'm uninjured.
Wait, really?
At this point, yes.
Alright, that's all for...
I also at full health.
Now it's Euchaunkas' turn.
Yeah, it's that big lance heal. That was outrageous.
I was actually only at 4 health down when that happened.
Oh, I thought you took a bunch from the... regardless.
I fixed that.
Yes.
Don't you worry, Crowley. We're coming.
You are far too close, Bartholomew. I'm gonna go away.
Oh.
Ooh. Currently, Kurogan's right next to you, so he's also gonna have to make that save.
Wasn't
Excellent.
Kurogan
And
breathing
Selcress
fire
is
from
right
a
next
distance?
to you.
Yeah,
Oh.
yes, Selcress too.
And
Levi.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, then never mind.
Okay.
I don't know about that one. You've committed. I think at this point.
No, he's fine.
I thought they were not right next to me.
All right.
Different decisions based on proximity, you know?
Alright, screw you, Bartholomew.
Just swallow Bartholomew.
You hit him for 4.
And you know what? Screw you again.
Punch cloud.
Punchy Cloud returns. Go ahead and roll damage. That's going to be 13. That's another 13. Punchy Cloud has been very consistent.
But you know what's been very inconsistent, Pete? Roger's been very inconsistent.
Well, before Roger does something that's inconsistent, can Bartholomew go ahead and make another legendary action and stab Euchaunkas again?
No.
And he's going to use his third legendary
Again,
action.
he hasn't stabbed me yet.
Fair enough. No, he stabbed you with a lance at one point at Christmas tree.
Oh no!
Nope, it wasn't me that he got with the Christmas tree.
Oh god, it's the Oblivion Edge rises. He pulls out a black sword.
Oh.
Takes 16 points of slashing damage. I'm sorry, I told you I was going to stab you and then I slashed you. That was my mistake.
That's messed up, you liar.
That is all for that legendary action. Roger.
Roger appears out of his blanket.
Don't forget the bees!
Okay.
They are not forgotten.
And then he will fly down toward Selcress, and he is going to make some attacks against you. All right, Selcress.
Oh, good. Good.
Slashy slash. He's gonna swing his magic sword. Oh my goodness.
That doesn't hit.
Yeah, I rolled a natural 2. Cool. And then he will swing his second actual Eldritch Blade. Oh, I gotta roll the hit. Well, I get 29. Okay, that one gets hit.
Yeah, that'll hit.
Alright, so that's 14 points of force damage and 17 fire.
Okay.
So total 31.
31. So
And
that'll
then
go on to Levi.
Well, then 15 also jumps to Levi. But Levi takes 15 fire as well. In addition to whatever you throw.
Alright, so 31 plus 15 is 46? 46. Alright, that all goes on to Levi then.
Is he resistant to fire?
He's immune to fire, actually.
Doesn't do anything!
Roger disappears.
Yeah, it doesn't do anything to Roger. I'm not resistant.
And on Bartholomew's turn, he's going to actually look down at you. He's going to look down at you, Lance, and take a gamble. Let's play another one of our famous game. I believe it's Bartholomew's trash time. And he looks at you, Lance. I want you to roll me. I want you to roll me 2d14. I know that is a strange request, but go ahead and roll me 2d14.
Bartholomew, that's been discontinued.
10.
That.
You got
Oh,
4
okay.
and
So
11.
4 and 11. Wonderful. Oh, that's actually really lucky. All right. Bartholomew looks at you, and you all of a sudden you feel your person grow lighter. It looks like there was one item he was in particular looking for, one that you're using this instant, but instead you go down and reach for your wallet, as Bartholomew's wallet has been destroyed from your inventory. And Bartholomew just kind of holds it in his hand. Ah! Finally! And he looks at the wallet he now holds. As addition, he also is holding the rodent's roller, as those two items have been deleted from your inventory.
Ripperoni.
And Bartholomew uses Bartholomew's trash time upon you, and that is all for his turn. That's going to bring us to all of y'all. And to describe now the building is falling at a pretty quick rate. It took a little while for it to initially collapse, but it's about halfway down now. It looks like it's going to crash at the top of the next round, Lance. You have 1 round to do whatever it is you're going to do down here. What do you do?
Just like running through a swarm of gnats with a butterfly net, trying to save as many people as I can.
You see an elderly lady walking across the street. Oh, hello there. I'm Grandma. Into the back she goes.
All right, I want you to make me... Jeremy, what check do you think this is?
Ooh. Just roll a d20. There's no skill for this.
This is just you. And add bless.
Excellent.
For Selena's guidance.
All about that bless. Not even gonna look, just here's the d20, here's the 4. That is absolutely terrible.
Alright, you begin kind of sweeping through, and as people see this kind of, this individual
Don't you
flying...
have advantage on something checks?
As a person of good alignment who's playing to good alignment, do I get advantage?
Nope.
Yeah. Unfortunately, as you're flying through, a lot of the people looking at you, that you're flying through like a battlefield angel. And a few individuals look at you and recognize that, but a lot of them see an individual with a big black void of a butterfly net scooping people up and actually kind of run and move around you. So you get a few people that, like, a couple of people you see kind of holding up, and just like letting themselves be captured, and you recognize a couple of followers of Selune that you've seen around Central City before. And you get a good amount of people, but the square is still heavily populated, and this building, unless further action is going to take a heavy, heavy toll. They're running away from the building, but they're not fast enough, and the square is too crowded, Kurogan, for them to like get out of the way of it effectively. Also, like, the explosion and rubble is going to be brutal.
And it's also 12 seconds. We're on 12 seconds, folks.
Yeah. And that is anything else on your turn, Lance? You still have a bonus action.
Oh man, there are only like 3 bonus action spells I have, and I don't think any of them are good for this particular scenario. Lance is just gonna put his pedal to the metal, just calling out, pleading for people to get in the bag or to get away from the building, as he's feeling that moment of true helplessness of trying to do stuff. And
all right, Lance, I grant you a point of inspiration for your choice in this moment.
Alright, Selcress is gonna fly down.
Alright.
She'll, Levi or her will,
Does
I guess they'll
take an
both.
attack of opportunity?
I'm sorry, of course. I wasn't thinking. He's going to use his big sheath bonanza on you, and let's see what he gets.
Okay.
Round and round the sheath rolls. Where will it stop? Can you just...
3.
A 3. Some of the lower ones aren't necessarily bad. This one is. The Streaming Blade. Bartholomew swings it out towards you. It flies at you and strikes you for 14 points of piercing damage. As it does, Bartholomew goes, "This is the Streaming Blade. When it swings, you create wonderful illusions in its trail." And Bartholomew swings at you with a rainbow that seems to trail into a winding river. And it strikes you for 14 points of piercing damage.
Alright.
did I make that item?
You might have.
Yep.
Alright. I'll take that
Mostly,
damage.
if not only, player-submitted items.
I like
One
that
or two
item.
exceptions.
Yeah, I do as well. There are a few mix-ups in there, but
Okay. I guess. Euchaunkas, unless you want to.
you step away, that provokes the opportunity attack.
Alright.
What do you do?
Levi disengages though.
Okay.
And he's gonna fly me down to the building. Is there a clear space anywhere around for a building, perhaps?
You are in Central City.
That's fair enough. That's fair enough.
Metropolis.
Yeah.
Is the term.
Alright. This is gonna be interesting, but let's see how it works. She's gonna just put her hand on the building and cast Dimension Door. And try to take it.
don't think it's got the juice.
Yeah, I'll say that. I think you know that Dimension Door isn't gonna get it out of there.
No, it's not. But I'm gonna rest it on the, I'm gonna rest it horizontally on the tops of 2 different buildings.
No, I'm saying I think you know that Dimension Door can't move a skyscraper. It can move it's like a person your size or smaller. If you had a teleport, it might have gotten you there, maybe. But
okay. Then.
But I won't make that take your action. You know, you're aware that that's not going to cut it.
All right. There are people down below.
Yep. I killed them with a fireball.
Killed him with a fireball. How's Lance doing? Is he still in range of the building hitting him?
He looks like he's down below. Lance, I think it's safe to say Lance was smart enough to clear out, knowing that the building is going to crash next turn.
I see.
Yeah.
Well, I don't want to take this for nothing, so.
Lance, I will say you have the option to be down there and maybe grab a few more people if you want to risk the building hitting you.
Would I get an action before the building crashes?
I don't think so. You're actually getting the people.
But you'd have to make a save against the building to get out from it, essentially.
I'll stay in there.
Okay.
Euchaunkas, do you want to go?
Selcress Lance is still down there.
Sure.
Okay. Yeah, Selcress will. If you want to think.
Can Selcress fly down to Lance?
Yep, you're next to Lance.
Alright, and I'm gonna hold an action for when it's about to hit us to Dimension Door us away.
Okay. Yeah, that absolutely is gonna work.
Okay.
Alright, so you're kind of moving with Lance, you kind of grab onto him, and
Actually,
so that way you move with him.
A point of order here, and that is you have Levi with you too.
Levi, I can drop off of Levi.
Oh, so you just drop down from Levi onto Lance?
Yeah, that's fine.
Levi flies away. All right.
Yeah.
In that case, Euchaunkas or Kurogan?
I sort of look over my shoulder to see what's happening with the building and look back at Bartholomew. I'm like, ha! Joke's on you! I don't have anything that could have saved those people. And,
Neither did I, so I just opted to stay up here.
And I will. Well, first Punchy Cloud. Oh, Punchy Cloud.
Oh no.
Punchy Cloud.
And now a bunch of Punchy Cloud.
I can't. My screen is weird right now. Hold on a second. I can't read anything.
It's Spirit. It's Spirit Guardians.
That's gonna hit Roger too when he shows back up, isn't it?
So yeah, the Punchy Cloud unfortunately misses, and he's going to make a Wisdom saving throw.
I mean, he makes that at the beginning of his turn, but...
Oh, okay. So we'll wait a moment. It'll be Kurogan before then. Is that all for your turn?
Yeah.
Okay. In that case, it is Kurogan.
Damn it, old man, stop moving!
Actually, no, at the end of your turn, he's going to Bartholomew's Big Sheath Bonanza, Euchaunkas. He doesn't have advantage, it's just an 8. You'll never have advantage on that particular move. And he's going to strike you with... Oh, jeez. Oh, God, that's actually really perfect for him in this scenario. Rule Breaker, an item submitted by Max Meister. You take 12 points of damage. If you're concentrating on a spell, which I believe you are in this instance, you have disadvantage on the saving throw. So I need you to make a concentration check with disadvantage, as this is a dagger specifically tuned to deal with Mage.
It's already poisoned.
That's true.
Bless isn't up, right?
That's not gonna get you there, regardless of the bless, I think.
Oh, no, it could if it is up. I don't know.
No, I mean... Oh, wait. Okay, yeah.
No, I don't.
No, you
Doesn't he only need a 10 to succeed?
No, I'm sorry. I was very confused. So yeah, you do need to roll the bless. Yeah. I was confused about what the ability was. For some reason, I was 9 does not get you there, and the Spirit Guardians drops. That was a very clutch. Sometimes you roll high. What can I say? I don't know if you are aware that you can, but you can roll high, Euchaunkas. That is all for that legendary action. Now it is Kurogan.
I am going to look at the old man, stop moving, and going towards him again. And he's got his great swords in his hand.
All right. You go after him. Go ahead. All right. A 13 is going to miss, but a 28 absolutely is going to hit. Oh, well, you roll bless.
All right, bless. Let's see. 16 hit.
A 16 just misses, unfortunately.
Damn. 17 is your AC, isn't it?
Yeah, I'll say it's fair for you to know that at this point.
Okay. And bonus action, offhand with, it's not gonna hit.
Alright, yeah, unfortunately, the Reaver Strike also misses.
It makes it our turn, Pete.
That is going to make it all turn. Bartholomew is going to use a legendary action at the end of his turn to teleport a little bit away and outside of the range of the toppling building where he was kind of close. Roger, what do you do?
Roger reappears. He takes out his rebreather and takes off his fire hat and puts on a set of slick shades instead. And then he's going to fly down to Kurogan and Euchaunkas, and he is going to look at the two of them and then look at Euchaunkas, and it's take the obvious attack. He's going to go after you, Euchaunkas. All right, so 20 to hit.
He hits.
Alrighty. You are going to take 10 points of force damage and 11 points of fire damage. 21 from that.
Okay, make a dex saving throw.
Oh, just 18 fire damage jumps over to you, Kurogan.
You mean 9?
Sure. Just gonna roll a dexterity save. Are you casting a spell?
Nope. I'm using my...
He failed.
Defend my thing.
Oh,
He takes...
what's the DC?
My spell save DC, which is 17.
Okay, so he had a +6 to that, and I didn't have his save put in, but he still fails.
He takes 7 damage and is pushed 10 feet away from me.
Oh, he gets thrust backwards? Excellent. Alright, he's then going to fly over and attack Kurogan with his second attack. Doesn't want to get zapped. He will swing his sword, 29 to hit.
Oh, God.
17 force damage. And then Roger stays in place.
Oh, his comeuppance may be nigh.
Yeah, it's fine. And just kind of smiles at you two. That's the end of his turn.
And on Bartholomew's turn, Lance, in this extra moment, I want you to roll me another d20 to see, by choosing to stay here, how many individuals you are able to continue to grab as you wait until the final instant.
Don't forget your bless.
Yep, so got bless.
You're
Yes,
my
Lune got
peon, I'm not letting you die!
Lots.
Better.
14, much better. As the building is about to crash down to the ground, you kind of you look around at all of the citizens that are right near the base, and they look up at the building that's about to destroy them and you, and decide, we will put our faith in this individual. And people kind of start cooperating with you a little bit more, and they kind of jump into the portable hole, and you save a lot more lives. And with that, the building goes and crashes down. I need you to make me a dexterity saving throw, but I believe there is a ready to action, which means you will avoid this.
Yep, Dimension door! Into the sky!
Alright, yeah. You instantly just teleport up above. The dimension door opens in space, and you and Lance kind of are just now looking down. All of you can see, and there's perhaps a brief moment of lull as the devastation of this kind of spreads. You watch as other buildings, glass shatters, the firestorms kind of move out over Central City, and Bartholomew looks dumb. Oh no! Bartholomew looks down and says, perhaps a change of pace. And he snaps his fingers once more, and you find yourself standing somewhere different. The four of you are now standing in what looks to be a gambling hall. Around you, you can hear various people talking and kind of speaking. A dealer kind of stands at the table waiting for you, and Bartholomew is kind of wearing a robe that looks a little bit more polished and a little bit more refined. Bartholomew speaks, "Not every battle that you will face will be a contest of strength." And Bartholomew sits down at the poker table. And he gestures.
Selcress has experience with this. She was a high roller.
I remember this.
She's gonna sit down.
Roger.
Come on, everyone, sitting down. You gotta play.
Don't really have a choice. Okay, here we go.
Who doesn't love a game of chance?
You see a number of poker chips suddenly just appear in front of each of you as you sit down in your seats. The number of chips you have appears to be equal to your remaining HP. Bartholomew.
Do I get some extra ones for Levi?
Levi has chips.
Okay, cool. Levi sits down too.
Bartholomew says, "All right, everyone go ahead and ante up." And all of a sudden, 10 chips just disappear off of you. All of you lose 10 hit points as the chips are put into the middle, and the pot grows.
Ow.
Bartholomew looks, "All right, are all of you familiar with the game? I believe we call it the Deserts of Alabama Hold'em."
Somewhat, yes.
Yeah, of course.
Mm-hmm.
To a degree.
Well, you will be playing one hand, and Roger, I think, will be joining me. Is that fair to say, Roger?
Roger's like sitting on his chair on the other side of the table with Bartholomew. He's like leaning over the side, and he seems to be putting something on a foot. He goes, "Oh yeah, Bartholomew, you can play it mostly."
Very good. So the way this is going to work is we're going to play Texas Hold'em with D6s. So as long as I assume one of you knows the rules of Texas Hold'em, if not all of you.
For the most part.
Kind of. I know them.
All right. So why don't you go ahead and roll? Why don't you go ahead and roll 2d6 and see what your first two cards are as they deal your first two cards.
It's they're playing as a team, correct, B?
Yes.
So you guys get 2d6 between the lot of you.
Yep.
Who's gonna roll them?
I will not. As
It's
my
alright
low
if we
dice has
see.
been
Oh,
bad.
Selcress taking the punch. Nice.
Actually, I wasn't prepared to not look, Jeremy. I'm sorry, I've now seen what your cards were. So I just have to scroll up a little bit so I can't see what your roll is. Our apologies. So now please re-roll.
The chat can see, but I have blocked that on my screen, so I can't even see that.
And we rolled our dice a while ago. We just did one roll just so we'd know in advance, so you guys wouldn't see.
Okay.
All right, you've made your rolls.
Yeah.
All right. In that case, and I'll need you guys to read these to us since we won't be able to see them. What starts to go down? Bartholomew goes, "All right. There is a round of betting traditionally when you look at your first two cards. So, it is your bet. Do any of you wish to gamble at this time?"
For gambling, do we all lose the HP, or can we choose who loses how much HP?
Any of you can gamble any amount of HP you want. Those choices are individual.
I will pass for now.
Levi will gamble 12.
12 hit points.
What the hell? I'll
Are
put
you
in
keeping track of those, Pete?
Yep, I'm gonna keep track of the total. All of you anteed up 10, so there's a total of 70 in the pot right now.
I'll put up 2.
I'll put up 5.
2, 5. So we have 7, and then Levi was putting up 12, so that's 19 that you guys are collectively betting, because this bet is a collective.
Yeah.
And I am passing.
I will call, and Bartholomew, of course, puts in his 19 chips. Is Roger choosing to play on Bartholomew's hand? I believe, yes?
Yeah, Roger and Bartholomew are a team like they are.
Yeah, Bartholomew,
As
Bartholomew
puts his
bets for both of
19
them.
chips in, a single one of his gray beard, like gray little hairs in his beard, boing, springs up and goes white.
All right. So that is, and I just for the record, I need you guys, since you're dividing it up kind of in odd numbers, I do need you guys to keep track of. I'm doing the total, but I need you guys to subtract your personal hit points.
Yeah, we got that.
Okay, cool. All right, and Bartholomew in turns puts in 19, and you do see a hair kind of fall out of the beard, and he goes, "I'll call," and then the flop. Three more cards are placed down upon the table. And you guys need to read them to me because I can't see because I don't want to look at yours.
5, 1, 1.
Okay. Bartholomew looks. All right, the bet is on you.
I'm gonna check.
Everyone?
Also check.
I don't know enough about this, so I'll go with the consensus of check.
Selcress, Levi?
Check for Selcress and check for Levi.
Bartholomew kind of thinks for a time, looks at the dice. And he takes a large stack of poker chips and begins moving them towards the center. As Bartholomew's face, you see, as he begins pushing poker chips forward, it grows like gaunt and a little bit withered as he puts 100 chips into the middle. He looks pretty beat up from this. He was already kind of injured from your previous battle. But as a collective, if you want to call, you have to make up 100 chips in the aggregate.
Fold.
Well, you guys are a team. Keep in mind.
Yes, I am ruling. I am
You can
voting to fold. I'm gonna look over to them and just shake my head.
If we lose, he gets all of this back.
Yeah,
That is fair. Remind me, as I'm a bit fuzzy on Texas Hold'em, it's the 3 common cards and then the 2 in each hand.
Yep. There's gonna be 5.
Yeah.
There's gonna be 5 more.
So the
5
way
cards in the
it
middle.
works is you get a hand of 2 cards, the flop, which is 3 cards in the middle. If what's in your hand is good with what's in the middle, you want to have the winning.
Multiples of a kind are really good.
Straights are
1, 2,
good.
3, 4, 5, very good.
Yeah.
But basically, it's the best 5-card hand that you can make between your 2 cards and the 5 that end up in the middle.
Yeah, that's how it works.
If it's multiple of a kind as well, that's good.
Yeah,
So
that's
like
very
if
good.
you have 4
So with the
6s.
1-1, with the 1-1, everybody has at least a pair of 1s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the best hand right now would be a 1 and a 5, and you'd have a full house.
Yep.
We
Right.
do not.
Ah.
So, I also vote to fold.
Oh, also fold. Or both.
Yep.
I mean, you got
As-
5 bodies to put this forward. You're not interested?
Yeah, you guys get to make it up in the aggregate.
Mm.
No,
Mm-mm.
no.
Would we have any chance to heal mid gamble?
You can
I'm
guess,
assuming
Phil.
not.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you can guess spells. And your Beacon of Hope's still going.
Yeah, you guys can like interact.
Okay, so do we want to use some magic on this to bolster?
You see Roger struggling to put something on his other foot now. Looks like a large flipper.
What the hell are you doing?
Looking it up, is there
No
the
cross
giant
talk.
kraken cage in here?
No, this is just like a seedy den.
Okay.
Bartholomew kind of leans forward. If you're ever going to challenge the greatest foes in the land, I think you need to show a bit more courage. As he kind of leans forward.
Little backbone.
Rude! Shut up!
You should also know when the battle is not to be won.
This is true as well. And he kind of smiles a big smile.
What are
Well-
y'all still doing here then?
Make your choice.
I just smile.
So has everyone agreed that we fold?
Yep.
Okay. We're gonna fold this round.
Alright.
Alright.
In the future, guys, we should use that chat to, deliberate poker face wise.
That's fair.
No, it's more fun. It's more fun if you
Pete
do.
and I aren't playing on for you guys. We don't know what you got.
Yeah.
You all do.
Um,
Unexpected, Pete. Unexpected.
Unexpected indeed. Bartholomew goes, very well. And all of you who have lost at that point, you've already lost 10 hit points. And then the hit points that you declared in that first round of betting, which I believe were 2, 5, and 12 for Levi. And then Bartholomew, you watch as that kind of pile of chips on the table moves over to his stack, and he looks fresher, a beard hair grows back, and then some, as he looks a little bit bolstered, and very well, if that's your decision, then that is your decision. And Bartholomew snaps his fingers once more. And the four of you find yourselves now in a much different scenario. The four of you, with the exception, I believe, in this instance of Euchaunkas, are drowning. You are thrust immediately underwater.
Does flight work underwater?
Yeah, it does.
Nope.
No,
It doesn't?
It's not.
nope, swim speed only. What do you
see
do?
Roger, not too far away. He's got flippers on and a scuba mask and a scuba tank on his back. He waves at you, still holding his sword.
Yeah, Selcress is gonna glare at him.
So, I believe the turn is going to be Roger's.
Yeah, Roger.
Oh yeah,
going
did they
to-
take B damage during the card game?
Oh yeah, there should have been like another 30 points.
Wait, yeah, I think that finished up the bees.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think just the bees stung him through. He was still doing his poker face as best he could, but he got stung by a lot of bees during that card game, which I think basically offsets all of the health he got back. I think there were 5 more rounds of bees yet left, correct?
Yes.
Was it really
all right.
5?
Yeah, I've been keeping track of it.
Alrighty. Roger will swim over to the only other person who seems to have a swim speed underwater, which is Euchaunkas. And is going to be making some attacks against Euchaunkas. We're going to start with the short sword.
Didn't
23.
he just go? Before we came here?
Oh, right, he did, didn't he? Yeah, alright. I think that's a fair point. We did take the last turn, Pete.
That's true.
So you guys get to go.
Yeah, Euchaunkas, you get to act first.
Great, I control water to make a gap for us.
And now I can breathe because there's air. Yay!
Yay, air.
All right, you guys struggle to catch your breath all of a sudden as that instant where you're first just like kind of gasping in water, and then Euchaunkas immediately creates a bubble in a space for you guys to breathe in, and you all kind of are coughing up the salt water from your lungs as this does
This
here in
won't
the ocean.
last long.
Does there look to be a surface above us?
No, you are fairly deep in the ocean. It is dark down here as well, actually.
We're going to need something to let us to breathe.
Those of you who don't, those of you who don't have dark vision, which I think is only you, Kurogan. Euchaunkas, do you have...
No, I don't have it.
You are almost
Do
completely
I?
blind. You're almost
That would
completely
be
blinded,
very
save
bad
the glow from Lance. Yeah.
I think I have 30 or so feet of bright light.
Also, my armor is glowing with red because of the fire in my hands and stuff.
I'll drink a greater healing potion for a bonus action.
Very well.
We're still under the thing, right? What is it called? The Beacon of Hope?
Yeah, I think it probably has like
About a round throughout that
I'd
whole
say
poker game.
2.
Yeah,
They cut the poker game off early, so I'll give them an extra.
That's
I think
true.
an extra round there.
that's fair.
You got this round and then one more.
Okay. I drink.
Frank. All right, who's next? You guys, if you have dark vision, you can see Roger about 30 feet away, floating there.
Don't have dark vision. I'm glowing, so at least there's some kind of light.
Yeah, if can see you.
Yeah, that's great. There doesn't seem to be any kind of other air, no surface or anything. I'm not sure what all I can do. Fire isn't really going to work here.
It'll do half damage.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not great. Instead, I'm going to bonus action divert some slots back into my my dragon's fire, so I get my shield back. I still have my wings, but I have my shield back. Also, I can cast better thingos, so I'm going to cast Thunderwave is from me.
Make the call.
Chromatic Orb, can it do...
You gotta make
lightning?
a choice soon.
Okay, I'm gonna do Chromatic Orb. Or can I actually, I can't see anyone, can I?
Yeah, you can't see anyone right now.
Just your allies around you.
So I'm going to hold an action, stand kind of...
If I can go.
Okay, go ahead while I decide what to do.
I'm gonna cast Fairy Fire on Roger.
What's the saving throw?
Dexterity, I believe.
Dexterity.
Is he close enough to Bartholomew for both to get hit?
No.
Roger gets a 27.
Oh, jeez.
As you
that
kind of
was
light
my
up the
roll.
space, Bartholomew doesn't actually seem to even be in that space as the fairy fire suddenly alights there. He's nowhere to be seen at the moment.
Good use of your drow magic. Thank you.
Yep. I'll have to call it there, but
Okay.
I can. I think that's an
Oh, yeah?
action for me, and then Levi can do something.
Mhm.
He's not drowning right now.
He's with you all.
Does he like?
He can see.
Does he drown?
Roger, no problem. Yeah, he's still.
Yep.
Okay.
Have him hold his breath.
Then he's gonna take a big breath and go after Roger.
Swim out to Roger. Now, he
Yeah.
does not have a swim speed, correct?
No, he doesn't.
Okay, so he's traveling at half speed, and all of his attacks in the water will be at disadvantage.
Alright. That works.
He swims out, no problem.
Does he get to Roger?
Yeah, probably. Roger was pretty close. That's
Alright,
just nice.
so disadvantage attacks.
That's going to be a 22, a 15, and a 24. Well, the two of those will hit for certain. 18 damage.
Yep.
Alrighty, Roger needs to roll a concentration check, which he has advantage on. He gets a 10, which is fine. That beats the highest roll you had. Okay, Roger succeeds.
In that case, since he's lit up by fairy fire,
He's not.
He's not.
he's not? Oh.
But it flashed in his general vicinity.
So I
You
can
take a
kind of
disadvantage
guess.
attack if you wanted.
So I'm just gonna have to do that. Chromatic Orb at him with lightning. Does lightning conduct through
Doesn't
water?
do anything underwater.
Doesn't do it? Oh, damn. Yeah, it would. Chromatic Orb at 3rd level using a 1st level spell slot.
Sure. A 15 will go wide, unfortunately. The lightning streaks through the water to no avail. And Lance?
Lance will grab Euchaunkas, and he will heal him for 42 hit points.
Well,
Pretty good.
Ooh.
And he will bonus action chug.
alrighty. Just a regular potion of healing.
Aye, aye, Capitan.
Right. I am reducing your potions on the thing.
I have 5 left, right?
Yeah, you have 5. No,
Bingo.
you have 9 remaining.
Oh,
You bought a double stack of it.
oh, that's right. Bingo.
Yep. Alrighty. So Pete, I think it's
Is that everyone?
Bartholomew's turn. Yeah.
The bees are gone. That's right. Never mind.
Yeah, the bees have run their course. And in the distance, you see what appears to be a shape of some kind, just kind of barely on the outskirts of your vision, even those with dark vision. Selcress, it's quiet, too quiet. But all of a sudden, on the outskirts of your vision, you see something large and fast moving towards the little bubble of air you've created for yourself. Its shape grows bigger and bigger until all of a sudden, in an instant, it crashes through the water space that you've made. A massive shark with a top hat on its head and a beard. A pointy wizard's hat and a beard crashes through and is going to make a huge chomp at you, Euchaunkas. I rolled it in the thing.
Now, do you have all of your hit points right now, Euchaunkas?
Yes.
Alright, it does not have advantage.
Wow, that's the rare situation right there.
I mean, Lance did his work right there.
Yep.
Ah.
Nice.
Oh, he misses. He crashes down in the bubble, and this huge shark just slams into it, and then kind of bounces out and moves a little bit further into the water surrounding it, provoking opportunity attacks from literally everyone.
Oh,
yeah.
I'm going in.
Oh man.
That's not supposed to be a disadvantage, so.
He's only going to take 1 attack, Pete?
I believe he...
One.
Nope, he only gets the 1.
Oh, shit. Just one.
Well, that was a crappy roll.
Just
Also,
one brutal attack.
doesn't matter if he's immune to fire or not, because actually, no, that.
Well,
Ignore the fire damage right now.
In this form, he is not.
Is it only
Whoa.
melee attacks? Or can you do spell attacks too?
Melee attacks
It's
only.
only melee, unfortunately.
You can punch him if you want.
Also, ignore the fire damage,
have a
because that's not active
rapier.
right now.
Oh, nice.
Selcress never uses it, but she has one.
But now, in this moment, she stabs Bartholomew in the gills.
Yeah. And then, Levi makes 1, even though he has a multi-attack.
Everything but that bite is going to hit.
1 attack.
Okay.
Can you guys just tell
then
me
I'll
the
just-
collective
yeah.
damage? The tail is actually also not going to hit on Levi. So it's that's 7, and then a big crit, so another 8 and 11, 19.
34.
Thank you. Thank you.
And then Roger will go. And Roger will swim into your bubble and start swinging at you, Chunk.
Does he have flight
Has
right
he
now?
provoked an opportunity attack from Levi? Because Levi's right next to him.
Levi did swim out. Yeah,
Yeah.
he does. Levi would be taking it still with disadvantage being underwater, but 18 will not hit Roger while he's concentrating, unfortunately.
Okay.
Roger swims past, and yeah, he goes for Euchaunkas, as is his strat. Euchaunkas, that is a 23.
Yep.
And I will roll the damage on that. So we're going to have 11 force and 8 fire, so 19 total. And then 13 fire will be to you, Selcress, because you're all in a confined space. And then, that was his act. He will take a secondary swing at you, Euchaunkas, with his other blade. And miss, because he's bad.
He should keep using that.
And that is the end of his turn, because his blink is not currently active. He got rid of it when you went to play poker. But he will not. Oh, does he swim away and take opportunity attacks from everyone else? Ooh, that's right. Yeah, he does. He swims away to take opportunity.
I will grapple him instead of...
everyone who's taken an opportunity attack already can't take an opportunity attack.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, that is
Shit.
true.
He swims right back
There
out
it
into
is.
the water, no problem. He is now 25 feet away. Or actually, probably about 20 feet away in the water. All right. Good work, Pete. Excellent play. I forgot about that.
Yes, very good.
Definitely planned. We anyway.
Did Euchaunkas take any of the damage in that?
Yeah.
A flurry from water. Okay, great. In that case, Bartholomew is still laser fixated on you, Euchaunkas, as the shark goes around for another patch. And the shark is going...
Your shark's already taken its turn, Pete. It's their
Wait,
turn.
Yeah, it's our turn.
Yeah, it's our turn.
Oh, wait. There were so many
Second
opportunity
that
attacks.
time.
There were so many opportunity attacks, I got confused about whose turn it was. Go ahead, y'all. Sorry.
Okay.
So it's next round that my
Beacon of Hope goes away.
Stat.
This is, yeah, I
Okay.
think it's the last round of it, right?
okay. Roll call on HP, y'all.
I'm at 7.
44.
47.
44.
Can y'all roll call in order? Any order, really.
47.
44.
7.
Jesus. Yeah, Selcress gonna get that sweet. Do. Oh, why am I doing the actual cast one when I can just heal her for 42?
So good.
Oh,
42 plus 7 is 49, right?
Oh my god! I forgot to apply my blessed healer, but yeah, that maxes out my hit points.
Nice.
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 10 out of 10. With 10 again.
I always forget I heal when I heal others.
All
Not
right.
that it's mattered too much,
Silly
but
Lance.
It matters when the huge giant shark or whatever it is gets advantage if you are less than full.
Yep. No, that's right. It does. It does matter for that. All right. Who's next?
legendary action at the end of your turn, Euchaunkas. The shark, which was kind of swimming around the outside, in the way that you've seen Bartholomew do, just appears right at the edge of the water, right near where you are.
Hello, shark.
It just teleports.
How are you, Bartholomew?
Quite well, Euchaunkas.
Oh god, you can talk as a
ah,
shark.
dogs! Oh,
Alright,
God, the
alright.
dogs! What the hell?
You know what? I'm going to maintain the trench with my control water,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'm going to heal myself at 3rd level with a healing word.
Oh, nice. And
The
it maxes
one
out.
healing spell I pack.
And it's maxed.
And it's maxed, which puts me back at full health.
Is that all for your turn?
Yep.
Bartholomew is going to use a legendary action to crash down into the space and bite you.
Which is just a regular bite.
Just a regular bite.
Oh, and it misses.
Whiff.
Oh.
Good for you, it did too.
Oh wait, this is. Oh wait. Yep. Never mind. That's correct. That's all correct. Yep. The bite misses, and as he kind of bursts through the bubble that you've created for it, the shark is now just flopping around in the bubble.
I mean, it's half flopping. It's.
Oh yeah, its tail is
gargantuan, right?
its
Like,
tail
it's
is still in the water. Yeah, it's very very big. Its tail is still in the water, but the top half of its form is flopping about in the water where you guys are.
Does that mean advantage?
Probably not.
No.
Damn.
Oh.
Okay, I guess I'll
Oh wait,
take my
wait, no,
turn.
no, I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. Yes, it does. It's prone.
It does. Okay,
Yeah.
well,
Generous.
No, he's prone. He's flopping around.
so
On the floor.
I'm just gonna drag a greatsword this guy. That's not supposed to be added. It is added advantage actually. So yes, that is a 30. And then another one. 18. Does that hit?
An 18 and a 30 both hit.
Okay, so that's
21, 26.
40 damage.
Oh, wonderful. Oh god.
We love when you guys tell us.
Yeah, please always do this.
It's great.
Yeah.
Usually my players track the damage to the enemy too when I'm in home game.
And as a bonus action, since I've got nothing else to do with it, yeah, screw it. I'll just I'll go back to I'll switch it back to the claws. Do a lot of switching with this thing.
Yeah, you go back to the claws. Amen. Yeah, that's the reason for it. Anything else? Oh, that's all. In that case, who else wants to go?
I mean, there's only one person left. It's so.
Oh, very good.
Alright. Roger's out by Levi again?
Yeah, well, no, Roger's a little further out, but Levi could swim to him, no problem.
Levi is gonna come back in the bubble.
Okay.
Yeah. He needs to breathe occasionally.
I mean, he's got
Fair.
plenty of time out there. But...
Yeah, but there's a flopping shark that...
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Just asking.
No, it checks out.
Tastier bait.
Yeah. It's just asking to get clawed. So, this is with advantage, right?
Yeah. It's a nice change of pace from disadvantage, I'll tell you.
Yeah. Not that he needed it. Jeez, Levi.
Wow. All right.
I also just realized the fire damage doesn't count, so he can actually regain 11 hit points.
Good to know. Thank you. I'm sorry, Selcress. Were those Levi attacks against Roger or Bartholomew?
Bartholomew.
Sharktholomew. Okay, yeah.
Sharktholomew.
15, 21. Another 21 damage. You guys are racking it up.
And then... Let's see. Can I, like, throw Eldritch Blasts at his gills to, like, freeze them up a bit?
Yeah, absolutely. Go for it.
Alright, I'll do that.
Cold damage is pretty effective against sharks.
Yeah.
Yeah, sharks like warm climates. Bartholomew's definitely not feeling this. It's another 19 points of damage.
19 plus 21.
Yep. That's 3. Great. And yeah, you strike, and you can see some, like, the beginnings of some flecks of frost beginning to form up, blocking up Bartholomew's breathing, although they're not quite there yet. That's all for the round. Roger, you want to go first?
Before
Yeah,
that,
Roger. Oh.
control water can be 100-foot cube.
Okay.
This is a big space. Not just a tiny space that we're trapped in.
Okay.
They can't reach us from the water.
Assuming that you are at the center of it, it is
50 feet in each direction.
50 feet. I'll assume at the end of this round, since we haven't been playing it that way, that you guys move to the center of the thing if you want.
Yeah, I mean, here's the key, right? You weren't flying at the beginning, right? You appeared in this thing. I imagine it surrounded you. There was a bottom to it.
Mm-hmm.
My flight was activated before that, to be fair.
Yeah, so you all fly out of the middle. That's fine.
Yeah, that's what we can do. All right, so now we're 50 feet off
we're
from
in the
each
air?
direction.
I thought we were at the foot of the...
No,
okay.
you were at the
Yeah,
you're at
well,
the bottom of the ocean.
Okay. Yeah, so there's
no
no ground.
floor, right?
Oh, okay. Sure.
Yeah, so there's a floor.
All right.
Well, now that we know exactly what to play this,
Sharktholomew, I guess, is just flopping around then.
Sharktholomew is right on the edge. He's flopping, but since you guys kind of move away and you guys move to the center of it, you want to go first, Roger?
Yeah, Roger will run in, and he is going to,
I guess fly in as well.
Yeah, he's gonna fly in. He's gonna cast Tensor's Transformation on himself. He gains 50 temporary hit points, and a bunch of other stuff, which is all very good. You can read all about it right there.
You can read all about Tensor's Transformation here in this pamphlet we've enclosed.
Yeah, and then Roger's going to fly over to probably Euchaunkas still, because that's important, and make a bonus action attack with his other blade, his Mordenkainen, which is 29.
Yep.
Oh, actually, that should not have advantage. That's only 23.
Doesn't change that it hit.
All right, 15 points of force. That also does not benefit from the extra 2d12. That's just 15 points of damage to you. All right, you're good.
Nice,
Oh,
nice
we're
save.
being rated. Delightful.
Oh, hello.
Alrighty,
man.
folks. that's the end of Roger. What do you want to do, Bartholomew?
Bartholomew, the giant shark, is going to kind of slunk back into the water a little bit, and you see him swim around up directly above. Euchaunkas, you look up, and you just see the shark's open mouth descending from the top of the little space that you've made towards you, as he is going to make a bite attack against you again with advantage.
At disadvantage, actually.
Well, it would be an advantage because it's a blood frenzy. So if you're going to use
it's normal.
You're going to use your protection style? All right.
Yeah.
And he goes and crashes down directly on top of you, which he's going to roll that ability now. 16.
Misses.
Oh, the giant shark slams on the top of it. You just step a little bit. You just step a little bit to the side, and now the shark is just kind of flopping around in the big space here in the middle of the thing. So that's going to the bubble that you have created.
That's unfortunate for him.
And at that point, Bartholomew, you see the shark form just kind of dissipates, and Bartholomew just is floating a couple feet off the ground, looking out over the group of you. That was very quick thinking, Euchaunkas. You created quite a safe space for yourself.
Roger says, "This was actually worse for you."
What do you mean?
And for them.
The turn goes to you guys. What do you do?
Anyone in particular want to go first?
I will re-up. Oh. Okay, guys, do you want to go for the gamble that could be very useful, or the good steady bless?
Let's go with the gamble.
At 4th level, I cast Dispel Magic on Roger.
Ooh.
Ooh. Now, that is not a touch attack, right? That's 60-foot range?
120.
Oh.
Right. So level 4, Dispel Magic. What does that get rid of? That gets rid of his Mage armor, his mirror images, which have not been bothered yet, his fly, so he falls, his Eldritch Blade disappears.
He falls 50 feet, takes damage.
Yep, I need you to roll 3 ability checks. Damn, I thought that was touch. OP. 3 wisdom spellcasting ability checks. Oh, damn. All right.
2 decent ones.
And actually, that's 2. 2 of them get knocked out. He loses his other spectral sword and his Tensor's transformation.
Yes!
Yes!
Goodbye.
Yes!
You exactly got it with that 4th wisdom check.
3rd wisdom check.
Roger falls probably 40 feet. Is not a particularly happy camper. It takes 12 points of damage, which is a lot for him. Roger's been skirting by, not getting attacked this whole time. He's loved it.
It's about to change.
Well, he's prone on the ground now next to you.
Yeah, just imagine Selcress and Levi's eyes glowing red, leaving with bloodlust.
Dear Lord.
You guys focus on him, I've got Bartholomew.
Let's do that DC 15 Constitution save so he doesn't get exhausted from Tensor's transformation fading.
Oh, yeah. Let's see. He fails. So he's has
exhausted.
1 level of exhaustion. And actually, I need to roll a 2nd concentration check, for which he has advantage on. He gets a... Yeah, okay. So he saves on his concentration for his last spell. Oh, wait, no, he's not concentrating on that. Crap. Uh-oh. That's just always on. Yikes. All right. Lance, you done?
I will bonus action
Ooh.
Sanctuary.
Bartholomew's got something to say about that, I think, right?
Yeah, Bartholomew's got 2 legendary actions. He's going to expend 2 of them to cast the spell at you. Lance, he's going to actually dispel magic as well. You see, as you've seen with a couple of spells thus far, it appears to be something of a higher level casting of the spell, as he casted Counter Steal and Power Word Shield before. He casted Destroy Magic. You still have a Bless on you as well, correct?
I believe that Bless and Beacon of Hope have just faded.
Oh, well, those would have been removed, but the Sanctuary is removed, and the spell has been removed from your spell list.
Oh my.
As Bartholomew casts Destroy Magic at you. Bartholomew goes, "You can't always rely on those things that you've relied on the entirety of your life. The battle could change at any moment, Lance." Anything else on your turn, Lance? Oh, that was a legendary action.
Yeah.
Kurogan's turn.
Kurogan, what do you do?
It's going after Bartholomew. He's the biggest threat here.
All right, go for it.
And he's got his dragon claws out, so that's not supposed to be an advantage, but it's 27 regardless for 18 damage there.
All right.
24 for another 20 damage.
Bartholomew's going to power word shield it. He throws up his shield in front of it, and it blocks it, just barely halting your dragon greatsword before it strikes.
And then bonus action, that's a nat 1, never mind, that doesn't hit.
That ain't gonna do it, unfortunately.
But I want to hit for a lot!
The first one doesn't hit for 18 points of damage, however. And, yep, Bartholomew is... are you interested in the number?
Yes.
Let's hear it.
461. All right.
Oh, that's it? Come on, guys.
That's a lot of damage. That is going to... is that all of your turns?
Yeah, so we healed a shit ton.
No, we got Euchaunkas and...
Oh, Euchaunkas and Selcress. My apologies.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm gonna cast Sanctuary on myself.
Correct.
Wait. Euchaunkas, I just want to say, are you sure you want to do that? Roger looks pretty beat up.
Yeah, Selcress can deal with that.
Oh, okay, I figured you'd
It's a
want to
bonus
fight
action
Roger.
anyway, it's fine.
Well, I need to use my action to maintain the water.
Well, action... that's true, yeah, you do have to do that, don't you?
Alright.
That's fine. So Chris is just cracking her knuckles.
Bartholomew is going to use his last legendary action to go ahead and Big Sheath Bonanza you, Kurogan. That's a 4. Let us see what we have in store for you.
Let us see.
What crazy item comes out of the sheath this time?
It's a banana!
Bartholomew removes a frying pan and bangs you on the head with it, as you suffer 11 points of bludgeoning damage and 2 frying pan.
No, I don't, cause shield.
Oh, you put your shield up in front of it. The Classifer's cursed frying pan goes to slam down on top of you. But in response to Bartholomew's own shield, your shield blocks it. The frying pan makes indeed a very resonant sound that spreads out through the small underwater opening you've created for yourselves. And that is all for that legendary action.
Well, Roger. What do we have here?
Roger seems weak and fragile without all his magic. He's not glowing at all. Don't hurt me.
There's Eldritch Blast.
Alright, you shoot him twice. Let's both hit. Easy.
Yeah.
Alright, that's 25. That's real bad for him. Alright.
How's he feeling?
He's feeling definitely bloody.
Alright, well, have a multi-attack from Levi.
So Levi rushes over and begins. Levi has advantage on all his attacks. Oh boy.
Yeah, deal with that. Deal with that.
It's a 19, 29.
Hang on, I'll add it up for you.
Yep, 32 is correct.
Okay, good.
Roger looks like he's on his last leg. He's just like, why are you killing me? I'm just trying to help you. I'm trying to save you.
Look, Selcress has always wanted to do this, Elijah. You should have known this was coming.
Oh, the slick shades that he'd put on for the poker game fall and shatter on the ground. And you destroy his scuba gear. Alright, it's our turn, right?
Yep.
Right,
absolutely. And Roger, do you want to act first? Or actually, oh yeah, go ahead.
Roger will go first. Roger will cast haste upon himself. And then, with a bonus action, he will swing with his regular short sword at you, Selcress. Oh, he crits!
Ouchie.
Why does he have
Fix
advantage?
that. He should not. He does not crit.
Yay, not a crit!
You take 7 damage.
Oh no!
7 non-magical slashing damage.
Levi gets...
Levi takes 7 non-magical slashing damage.
He flails weakly at you. Oh, and Levi's immune to non-magical damage, isn't he? Or resistant or something, isn't he?
Oh yeah, he is.
being a barbed devil, so it does nothing. Oh, that's so
He's
pitiful.
resistant, so I mean,
Okay,
it
so the
does.
3 points, 3 damage to Levi.
Yeah, that's fine.
Bartholomew looks out over the group of you, and says, "You know what? I think it's time for. I think it's time for something new. Do you all remember trivia time?" And he looks out over the collected group of you. Bartholomew's going to ask you a question in a moment. When the track ends, I want all of you at the same time, when you hear the music stop, to type in what your answer is in chat.
But do not hit enter until the music stops.
But do not hit enter until the music stops, and you hear a sound you haven't heard in a while. Welcome to Bartholomew's Trivia Time. Let's see how well you've done in the land of DnDTime since last we met. The Trash King has a particular race. What is the Trash King's racial background? It has often been difficult to discern it due to the numerous amount of dirt that covers his form, but it has been revealed to some members of the land of DnDTime. What type of creature is the Trash King? Your answers now. Selcress, you were behind the gun on that one. So unfortunately, you kind of are like waiting there, and like an illusory button had kind of appeared in front of you where you could write it down, and you were like, no, I'm not finished yet. And Bartholomew looks up. Well, Selcress, your enemies will not wait for you to finish. Those of you that failed do not take this damage, but Selcress, you are going to go.
Succeeded.
Yes, there we go. But Selcress, your late response. You take 32 points of psychic damage.
Okay, that's going to be. Do I want to do this? Sure, I'll take it.
Bartholomew, change your pace! Change your pace, I'm dying!
Oh, yes.
Face of
That's not going to change if we go somewhere else, you idiot.
Bartholomew is going to use his legendary action, or his legendary action, rather, and change the scenery once more. The air around you, Kurogan, suddenly feels comfortable and hot, as you are resting on a small kind of platform within what appears to be a bubbling volcano.
Oh, this is nice. I like this.
Maybe even a touch hot for your own tastes. And Bartholomew looks down at you, Roger. Roger, is that better?
Roger is actually lying in the lava.
Doesn't seem to have made any preparations for this change. Bartholomew looks at all of you. It is the collective view's turn. Bartholomew is just gone, and Roger is just gone.
So Roger's in the lava?
Yep, you guys all stand on kind of a small platform of rock that Bartholomew has kind of like put you on as you begin. You each stand on your own kind of small one, but otherwise the inside of this is just bubbling. All right, so you already have power in the wings, do you?
Yeah, I've still got power in the wings.
All right,
I never took them out.
Bartholomew is floating up in the space, so you can fly up to him if you want.
You know, I might just want to finish off Roger. I'm gonna, hey, who wants to kill Roger?
Just go.
Okay.
It looks like Roger might just burn to death.
You know what, Bartholomew, I'm coming for you. I'm sorry I have to do this. No, I'm not. Let's go.
All right, you charge heroically towards
Dragon Greatsword
here within the volcano. On your way up, I would like you to make me a dexterity saving throw.
That's a great saving throw. Thank you very much for that.
That is not going to do it. You take half of that damage because it is fire damage, and you are resistant to it. But you take 43 fire damage as from beneath you, as you begin charging towards Bartholomew, the lava just erupts in the bottom of the volcano. Bartholomew's face is growing harder by the moment. He's been light to a degree at this point, but he's starting to look like he's getting serious as you run at him. Go ahead and do whatever you're gonna do.
I already rolled. The 15 probably doesn't hit. The 21 hits unless he decides to not.
He's not going to.
So that does 17 damage, and then bonus action Reaver for 20 to hit and a 19 damage.
20 to hit and another 19 damage. All right, yeah, that's also going to hit. What was the total damage you did this round?
Let's see. And this is irresistible fire damage on there as well.
Of course.
3 plus 16 plus 3. 36.
Okay.
Am I still poisoned?
No, that actually was gone in the water level.
Great.
That is, is it all for your turn, Alex?
That is all I can do, yes.
Bartholomew kind of leans into you. Good charge. And is going to Bartholomew's big bag bonanza you. Big sheath bonanza. As he strikes you with, what is Kurogan's alignment?
Lawful neutral.
Bartholomew strikes you with Euchaunkas, which means...
Which misses.
Oh wait, he misses with an attack! That's never happened, I just assumed he could only always hit. The arrow flies straight past you. And over your shoulders he picks up this heavy bow that appears, a long bow, and fires an arrow at you. Yeah, the attack misses, wow. Who wishes to go next? Yeah, instant point-blank dodge from Kurogan.
I'll go.
I just tilt my head slightly.
Yep,
All right,
Euchaunkas.
I will take out my holy symbol and cast, by spending 6 charges, Primordial War.
Ooh, all right, nice.
Okay.
I am
You cast
resistant to me.
Oh, okay.
Fire.
Oh, right, you can only cast it. Right.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, you have resistance to all those.
Okay.
Yep.
And you can use your reaction to become immune to it.
Bonus action. Can I do anything? What's this healing thing on Selcress? How does that work?
She just heals max.
Alright, well. Here's a level 2 healing word. You
Sure.
gain 13 hit points.
Sure, I'll take that. I'm at 30 now.
I am dying here, Kilo.
All right, Lance.
Lance will start this off big. This is slightly worrisome, but 3rd level, my final spell of 3rd level, Beacon of Hope on all of us.
Bartholomew is going to counter-steal it.
Ooh.
Oh no.
The Beacon of Hope. Beacon of Hope is the 3rd level spell, correct? Yes. The Beacon of Hope disappears, and it appears right next to where Bartholomew is standing. He looks over at it and just goes, "Unfortunately, I'm not a cleric. What can you do?" If any of you wanted to throw a healing spell my way, that would be great.
No, I'm good.
Nah.
I'll tell you what, once you admit that we won, I'll heal you back up to full.
Yes, we'll see. Anything else on your turn, Lance?
Oh, right. I was worried about dice, but action economy is much more important, so let's, get that sweet level 2 healing word on Kurogan, which I actually have to roll for. The humanity.
The humanity! The dragon humanity!
Oh my, that is... ignore the radiant. I
That's a lot of
turn
ones.
that off. It's 11
Okay,
healing.
Not as many ones, I guess. Okay.
Lance gets the Beacon of Hope back next turn, right?
You have level 3 slots left?
I mean, does he have to cast it again?
It is a
Probably
concentration one. Currently,
probably
got the storm maintained.
Yep,
through
the
his
storm
concentration.
maintain. Currently you don't have control over it because it's Bartholomew's right now, but at the start of your next turn you will regain control over it.
Okay,
Which is nice.
that's pretty good.
Selcress.
So Bartholomew's floating up in above the lava.
Yep.
Okay, then he can have some ranged attacks because I'm good at those.
Fire away.
All right, Levi's gonna hurl some flames at him. He should not have advantage. Don't mind that. Doesn't matter, but he shouldn't.
No, those are nice. Those are nice strikes. No two ways about that. That's another. Got 16 points of fire damage. You've breached 500.
Okay, and now time for my Eldritch Blasts. I didn't finish freezing up your gills, but I'll freeze. I don't know. Maybe this will feel good. Even. I don't know. It's hot.
19 and a 23 to hit.
Both of them hit. Roll damage. Man, another 20.
Damage coming out.
Yeah, Selcress is putting out an insane. This is like, actually, and I think we're at a point where Levi is no longer a barb devil because that only lasts a minute, doesn't it?
I think so.
Yeah,
so I think it should have actually ended a little while ago, but
Levi is now an imp again.
Levi reverts to the form of an imp after this final hurl frame. Through the power of Levistus' might, Levi hung on as long as he absolutely could, staying here in your hour of greatest need, but your most powerful ally has returned to his regular form.
You hear a gurgling from Roger on his turn, as Roger takes 110 fire damage and dies.
Bye, Roger.
With his last dying words, Bartholomew, drink a potion, taxes.
Barth.
Taxes?
What?
Bartholomew
reminding you of your favorite flavor of potion to get benefits from the maximum healing.
Bartholomew looks down at Roger as he's kind of falling into the lava, and he goes, I was going to do a legendary action at the end of a turn, but you know what, I'll do it at the end of your turn, Roger. Great idea. And he's going to destroy magic on Beacon of Hope.
Oh my.
As your proverbial hope is snuffed out. It's a 3rd level spell, correct?
Indeed it is.
And then Bartholomew looks towards you in front of him, Kurogan, and he is going to make 2 Bartholomew's Big Sheath Bonanza attacks against you. It's a 10 and a 15. I don't know what I just rolled, but I don't think it was meant to be rolled. The first one is actually 3 attacks as the tentacle god comes at you.
Oh.
All of those miss.
Alright, and then the next one is actually, ironically, this one again. You heal for 15 points, and Bartholomew just goes,
Thanks!
Damn it! And he takes out Anna's magic light crossbow and fires you with a healing crossbow bolt.
Use more of that. I like that.
Yeah, let's get more of that.
And then as a bonus action, Bartholomew reaches down into his pocket, and you see he pulls out a very large healing potion in a very ornate bottle, and downs a little bit of it. And by a little bit of it, I mean all of it in one gulp, because that's how healing potions work. And you see some of the color return to his face, some of the small scratch wounds on his body begin to heal over. Bartholomew, I believe superior is 8d4 plus 20.
On the bright side, he destroyed Beacon of Hope before drowning it.
Oh, that's a good point. It's in a sacrifice he's willing to make. So, am I correct about that, Jeremy? Is it 8d4 plus 20? Or is it 8d4 plus 10? Either way, it's 41 or 31.
Apologies, Pete.
I think is it superior or supreme?
It is superior.
It's 8d4 plus 20.
Okay, that's what I thought.
I might actually 10d4 plus 20, but same.
No, that's supreme is 10d4 plus 20.
He regains 8d4 plus 20. That's what that healing potion does that he drinks.
Okay.
All right. That is all for Bartholomew's turn. He looks out over the group of you. What do you do?
I am already right in front of him. Does anyone want to go first, though?
I'll go.
Are you sure?
Are you sure?
I mean, I'm going to bless. I don't know if you want
Alright,
to bless
let's
if you're
go.
attacking.
Let's go.
This is going to be a very intense and interesting decision I'm about. I will bless us, and I will use my last first level spell slot as I channel divinity. These big calls here. My where is it? She who guides, and I will grant my boy Kurogan a sweet +2 to AC, since he's the one up in front of Bartholomew.
I will take that.
All right. You gain 2 more spells. Is it all for your turn?
2 more AC, not 2 more spells.
Oh yeah, no. I mean, you cast 2 more spells, and you have the AC and the bless. That's all. That's all.
That will do it. My movement is just kind of circling around this platform to, not be quite so bunched up anymore.
All right, yeah, you move as outside. The platforms that you're on the side of this volcano are fairly narrow, but you kind of move skirt as far as you can to the outside of it, separating from Euchaunkas and Selcress, who I believe are also still there with you. And at the end of your turn, he's going to Big Sheath Bonanza, you, Kurogan. That's a 14. I don't know if we've seen a 14 yet.
I was really hoping for a 15 again. That would have been great.
That's a 15 to hit you.
Miss.
Which, a rough roll from him. You still take the 6 points of force damage, however, as he kind of pulls up this small, odd-looking, it's another crossbow, actually, but this one has a silver crossbeam, and as he fires the first bolt, you move your head backwards, but 2 smaller bolts of force fly outward, kind of whirling around like magic missiles, and then strike into you.
So it's essentially a crossbow with magic missile built in.
Looks like it. Additionally, Bartholomew is going to... Well, no, that was a legendary action, so that's all for his turn.
Yeah. Anyone else want to go? Selcress, you wanted to go?
Yeah. I'm gonna back away from Euchaunkas a bit. And hit
Bartholomew with some more Eldritch Blasts. Ha! Ha! It's
I don't
hot.
know why you rolled a Battle Axe of Momentum, but...
I didn't roll that.
That was an accident, yeah.
Yeah,
I hit the wrong button, don't worry about it. Both of those attacks actually miss. They fly over Bartholomew's shoulders. Concentrate, Selcress, you can't get tired.
Bless.
It's
On 16 at least.
Okay.
Bless on the 16.
Okay.
Yeah, that's already just going to always hit with the bless, actually. So, as he's saying that, you see the Eldritch Blast, which was obviously going to miss. You see it just kind of curves back around and strikes him in the side of the face for 13. And he kind of grits his teeth and smiles. Nice Eldritch Blast.
what were you saying?
He just grins at you.
And then there's a Levi that's flown up behind him at this point.
All right.
And he's doing a sting, which I don't think will work.
15 is not going to hit. At the end of your turn...
Lance, is Levi also blessed?
Unfortunately, I couldn't cast it high enough to bless Levi.
Okay.
At the end of your turn, he's going to use... he's going to look at Euchaunkas, and he looks at you, and he just... he calls out the word, Euchaunkas, dance. As he uses 2 legendary actions, 2 autos irresistible dance heal.
This would be a harmful spell?
It does not deal damage.
But let's be real.
Wisdom... Oh wait, he has to make a wisdom saving throw?
Yeah.
Yeah, fair.
Well.
That's the one he's good at. Euchaunkas, you see your ally, the proud Euchaunkas, begin to step and just go into this almost silly, ridiculous dance as he taps his feet. What do you do the next initiative? Who wants to go?
It's me. I think I'm the only one left.
Turn is yours.
Well, no, I also have to go.
Oh, okay. Do you want to go first, or should I?
You can go ahead.
So I can't move, but I can
You cannot move,
else.
but you can take an action. The only thing you cannot do right now is move.
Alright, well that's not that bad. Punchy Cloud's back.
Punchy Cloud is back. It strikes Bartholomew
With a vengeance.
for 29 points of big damage.
No, just
7 points of damage.
What am I talking?
29.
I'm sorry, I am getting tired.
I mean, no, that's
Pete-
fine. You can.
Pete is
that's,
getting
You know
tired.
what? 29's great.
No,
29's
seven
great.
points. 7 points of force damage as the cloud reaches up and punches him.
And then I'll guiding bolt him.
The 13 does not.
Oh, wait a
hit.
minute. Hold on.
Roll the 4.
At the end of your turn, he's going to use a legendary action to appear in front of you, Euchaunkas.
Didn't he just use 2 for the irresistible dance?
He's used 3. It seems he's using a 4th right now.
Oh, it's, okay, he has 4.
jeez.
Well, flying down in front into Bartholomew.
Yep, you can still get back to him.
Yep, and Dragon Greatsword. 14. Wait, let me roll bless on that.
On your way down, once again, the lava erupts underneath you, and you should make me a dexterity saving throw as you move.
It's an 8.
Yeah.
Oh
that
wait,
is-
I mean it's probably not going to help, but it's actually 10.
Yeah, that's still not going to get you there, unfortunately. As this is Bartholomew's magic that seems to be doing it. Out of the corner of his eye, he just raises his hand and the lava crashes upwards into it. It's not as direct of a hit as it was last time, and so you suffer only 12 points of fire damage as it
I'm
hits you.
still okay. I'm not dead. It's really nice actually. But I rolled the I already rolled the 2 attacks, and I have bless. I rolled a 3 for the first one, so that was a 17, and the other one would automatically be a 17 or more.
You're good. You hit.
Okay.
Roll damage. Getting low on
is
power.
38.
2 plus 15 plus 5. That's for those 2. 38 for that one, and then a bonus action Reaver. 11 doesn't hit.
Okay. Yeah, you slash out with the Reaver, and unfortunately it whiffs. But what was the total damage on the other strikes?
38.
You know
Okay.
what? I'm gonna give that Reaver advantage, burning my inspiration.
Oh, I guess I'm hitting again. It doesn't matter.
Oh no. All right. Well, still 38. All right. Is that all for your turn, Kurogan?
That's all I got.
Is that everyone?
Yep.
I think so.
Yes.
In that case, Bartholomew is going to look upwards. And let's perhaps another change in scenery is in order. He snaps his fingers, and you are pulled from the volcano in which all of you are currently kind of standing and battling, and you find yourself standing in what looks like the interior of a temple. The kind of various tiers of the temple, it seems to be in a bit of a ziggurat shape, are kind of moving upwards. It's raises high above you. Before you, you can see a tunnel. This seems to be like something of the inner chamber. And you don't actually see Bartholomew standing in the space with you. But then you begin to hear a rumble from the ground beneath you. You see the ruins themselves begin to quiver and shake, and the ground rumbles. The stone along the walls, it begins to crack and break. You see a couple of rocks. You seem to be inside a temple that is currently collapsing. What do you all do?
Time to run, I guess.
Book it.
Look for an exit. Is there an exit above that I could just escape out of with flight?
It looks like it's closed up at the top. It's kind of a high chamber. The only true exit you see, obviously before you, is just a large tunnel that seems to lead into this large kind of chamber here.
Well,
I'm gonna
flying into the tunnel.
I'm gonna activate Ghostly Gaze and start running, keeping
Can
an
I
eye on
scoop?
like, traps and stuff.
Selcress, will you allow Lance to scoop you up?
Yeah, boot me up.
Okay. Gotta squeeze out that extra 5 move speed as wood elf when it counts.
All right, Lance, you pick up Selcress, and the 4 of you just begin booking it down the corridor before you, moving as quickly as you can. The tunnel before.
Just keeping an eye out for any traps with her Ghostly Gaze.
Once again, the tunnel before you is pitch black as you begin to step down it. There's a few torches in the main kind of antechamber, but this does not appear to be lit. what do the four of you do as you're now just running kind of blind, those of you who don't have dark vision?
I should be a little bit ahead of them as I have a
Okay, so you're moving a little bit out ahead. Of course, you're a wood elf as well. So with the little the little gap that Lance creates between you, he's essentially a human torch, allowing not the superhero but just Lance Silverblade. As
superhero.
As Lance runs ahead, shedding not bright light, but enough for you guys to get by and to see as you move forward. Is it bright or is it dim? I believe it's just dim, right?
I think it's about 30 feet of bright, 30 feet of dim.
Oh, my mistake.
Does bright light sources stack? I don't believe so, but I think I should ask.
I don't...
Nope.
Yeah, no.
Highest overcomes whatever's lowest.
Okay. 15 bright, 15 dim beats out my moonblade at 10.
Alright, in that case, yeah, you are you are shedding like a perfect light around the space for all of you to move by, staying close enough to your allies despite your little bit of extra speed in order to kind of keep moving. The four of you have entered into a skill challenge. For anyone unfamiliar, you guys can now take this opportunity to use your various skills in order to kind of overcome your escape through the ruins here. Who would like to make the first skill check, and you can explain the manner in which you're trying to use the skill that you're using to help?
I think we already have one. Selcress's Ghostly Gaze.
Oh, excellent.
That ability is one success right off the bat. You're looking for 12 successes before 3 failures. It's a very difficult skill check.
Indeed.
You currently have one as you're rushing down.
Selcress, as you kind of open your ghostly gaze to this space around you, the interior of it that you're looking, it appears to be labyrinthine, but as you're using your ghostly gaze and just monitoring the walls, kind of a little bit more time and a little bit more focus since you're riding on Lance's shoulders and don't have to worry about also running, you are also noticing in the walls the occasional like trap you'll pick up, as well as kind of seeing a little bit ahead to where the turns are going to come. You notice, particularly noticeably, you call out on the ground like a pit trap below that you guys are about to walk on. It looks like the stone was intentionally loose.
Still flying. So I'm still flying.
You specifically are flying through. Selcress, what's the call out that you make as this happens?
Pit! Go to the left! Or jump!
You just
whichever
call
one.
out left. And just, Selcress calls jump, and Kurogan, you're just flying ahead. Euchaunkas and Lance, both of you let out mighty leaps. And kind of go across it. You watch as it kind of falls behind you, and also now you're finding behind you, some of those rocks are also beginning to crash down and really like destroy the space. Who would like to make the next?
I'll try with athletics. I can probably essentially shoulder some of the smaller boulders so that they're not hitting and interrupting any running.
Yeah, please do. Go ahead and make an athletics check.
Now, once an ability check has been used, it cannot be used again, so keep that in mind.
Yep.
And I think actually we got a success on the bottled moonlight for Lance as well.
Yep, to guide. So that's 3. Athletics check from you, Kurogan, as you're flying.
24.
Yeah, that's definitely enough to succeed. As these kind of rocks are crashing down on top of the group, you're monitoring points on the ceiling where they might fall in advance, and as they do, just a strong kind of swing with either of the claws and send the boulder kind of careening away.
I'll send out Levi ahead of us to kind of scout.
Alright, what's Levi's speed?
40 feet flying and then 80 feet dashing.
Okay.
Really not that much faster.
Levi can get a little bit ahead, but since Levi has the extra dark vision, I'll say this is going to require a roll. It's not automatic. Go ahead and make a perception check with Levi.
Sure. Perception, persuasion, insight. He used to have this as a barb devil, but I don't think he does now. So wisdom?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay, we'll just
19.
Plus, I mean, if you want to add bless, it could add.
That's not an ability check.
Oh, that's right.
Check. 19 is still enough to succeed, actually. As Levi is kind of moving up ahead, and you're just constantly telepathically communicating with Levi, exchanging information one-to-one, and just as you're monitoring for traps, so does Levi kind of look out for like changes in the path, and trying to look ahead and figure out which route is the best ahead of the time. As you curve down another corner, you see Levi already standing there at a split, and he's just already pointing to the right to lead you guys down what he believes is the better path here. As you continue to worm your way through this dungeon, just ducking and weaving between these various quarters. Who would like to go next? Euchaunkas, I don't think you've done one yet, if you'd like to.
I don't even know what I could do.
All
got
right.
one if you wanna
Any
go
way of
later.
how you can help the party to get out of the collapsing temple?
Yeah, Lance, go ahead.
Some sort of history?
To remove and mitigate the lag time between Selcress calling out the fail traps, and I would like to insight her just with all the time we've spent together picking up on the lighter signs that something's amiss before she even has to say it.
What skill are you making a case for right now?
Insight.
I like it.
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead and roll it. Unfortunately, your
Do you
insight
have
check.
Bless?
Bless
Bless
doesn't apply
doesn't-
to the skill checks.
Ah, shoot.
Attacks
Um,
insight.
Yeah, Lance, unfortunately that is not going to do it. You've accumulated one failure. You're trying your best to read, but everything's moving too fast as you're whipping through this space. I believe that puts you at, am I correct, Jeremy, is it 5 and 1 right now?
They have 4 successes.
Oh, 4 and 1.
Four,
Yes,
one
this would have been the
failure.
5th. Yeah.
And as you kind of turn the corner, there was a kind of complication. You misread Selcress's call and dash down the nether corridor. Several of the party falling behind. Selcress, believing Lance may have a better route, you follow him. And Lance, as you turn the corner,
He's carrying me.
Hmm?
He's carrying me.
She doesn't have a
he's
choice.
carrying you, right? Oh, of course.
Yeah,
And
naturally.
as you turn the corner, you find yourself face to face with a large object blocking the path ahead of you.
Is it stone?
No, it's not. It appears to be smooth, fairly sizable, 2 very large holes which quiver slightly.
Two very large what?
Nostrils.
Ah.
I couldn't hear that. What was that?
It's
Nostrils.
nostrils. It's
Very
a
large.
nose.
Nostrils. Oh, okay.
It's a nose.
What type of creature?
Something big enough to run into it and be described as you ran into its nose as opposed to ran into it.
I'm going to conjure a firebolt and look at the rest of the party.
At this moment, Pete,
The creature before you lets out just an ear-shattering roar. As, wearing a great wizard's hat, you see an absolutely massive Tyrannosaurus Rex staring down at you.
Run.
You turn around and begin booking it the opposite way. This was a dead end. As you begin moving now, the other path that you didn't travel down the first time, Bartholomew is going to, however, get one surprise attack against you, Lance, as you move into the space. The Tyrannosaurus Rex, as you move up to its
At
nose,
disadvantage.
lashes out. You use a reaction to disadvantage the strike. Classic. It was not a public strike. All right. That's a 24 against. I'm sorry. That's a 24 against you, Lance.
Just hits.
You take 58 points of piercing damage and are grappled. Is Lance downed?
No.
All right. Selcress, Lance is now held firmly in the T-Rex's kind of grip as you
mean his
see.
teeth?
Yep, in the grip betwixt his teeth, and you also see the tunnel still kind of collapsing, coming down in rows. Lance is being held here in place. You're riding kind of on his shoulders. The tunnel continues to collapse. It's not waiting for you. What do the rest of you do? It is your collective turns.
Selcress, run!
Hang on. I have to look
I
into
think
something.
with that, my bless runs out, doesn't
I
it?
can get Lance.
Yeah, that's actually not enough to save.
I mean, I don't know if you could roll high enough to save, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, he's polymorph, so I'm gonna do command.
All right. He's going to make a, I believe, a wisdom saving throw. Yep.
Yeah.
wait, Bartholomew's not immune to charms? Or is this That's not a charm.
He's a T-Rex right now.
He's a T-Rex.
Well, no, he is using his real wisdom saving throw. Just as you saw him teleport before and communicate, it seems that he still has access to that. He rolls a 19.
He's secretly an archdruid.
Yeah. He has lesser cheating. Advantage against spells and other magical effects.
Indeed.
Okay. That succeeds, and Selcress is gonna run.
Alright, Selcress,
I'm gonna
just begin booking
Pick
it down the
Selcress
line.
up and run with her, fly with her, actually.
Alright.
Alright.
And as a bonus action, I'm actually going to take off the points in my knight.
Divert all power to thrusters.
Yeah, all power to thrusters right now.
Alright.
Well,
the
it's
wings...
2 points to thrusters, and I'm actually going to put 2 more points into my AC.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright, yep, you rearrange, you watch as Kurogan's wings, which have spread out all the time, you see an additional ray of what looks like almost rocket boosters appear out from underneath him, and he just kicks into overdrive as you, Selcress, are going along with him. That's just going to count as another success against the collecting tunnel. Your incredible speed.
Selcress is gonna shout out, "Don't you dare die!"
I'll try to hold him. Just get out of here.
And then Levi, for bonus action, Levi's gonna sting Bartholomew in the eye.
Alright.
That'll hit.
Yeah, that's absolutely going to hit. Bartholomew kind of looks down in his giant T-Rex. He can't really react at all because he's currently holding Lance in his mouth. But as you strike him in the eye, you just kind of hear from somewhere within the T-Rex, and his eye kind of like blinks and winks out.
And that's a DC 10 poison constitution roll. Yeah, he's fine.
Yeah, that's an easy one. Alright, that is going to bring us to, I think Euchaunkas is the only one that hasn't acted yet. Or no, Lance, you also...
I grab Lance and Thunderstep.
So that's 12 damage total.
Alright. Yeah, 12 points of damage. Almost forgot to write it.
Alright, Thunderstep detonates. You teleport with, you can take a person with you in Thunderstep. That's great. You teleport 90 feet right back up to Kurogan and Selcress, as now a lot of you are making your way out. We're going to give that another success, I think. Because you actually, managed to save someone from...
And at this point, the T-Rex continues to just kind of run down the hallways after you. It's like destroying more and more of the tunnel as it moves. As it continues to chase after you, it kind of slides as there's a sharp turn, crashes into the wall. You watch as, like, in front of you, a couple more boulders begin to fall down, but you're keeping a vigilant eye out for Kurogan.
Also, because I am holding Selcress, in order to make my dodging more effective, acrobatics.
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead and make an acrobatics check. I don't believe anyone has used that skill yet. However, 12 is not enough. As you're kind of like ducking and dodging out of the way of these kind of like falling and crashing boulders, I believe that puts them at 6 and 2, right?
6 and 2.
One more failure, and you will fail the skill challenge, which will certainly have some serious consequences. All right, and as you kind of make this one failure, you kind of get struck by the boulder that's falling downwards. It doesn't like deal you enough damage to mess you up, but it does get kind of caught in your wings, and you fall back a pretty large chunk. You are now just basically, on your turn, you'll be able to dash ahead again, but right now, you're in pace with the Tyrannosaurus Bartholomew.
Shit.
And who else would...
even with it, or he's
Yeah, he's running even with it. You're far ahead right now.
Oh, Pete, I'm sorry, they're 8 and 2 right now. Because 2 of them move forward with the teleport, and 2 of them move forward with the dash.
Oh, and I actually don't think Bartholomew has taken a turn yet.
No, Bartholomew is not.
So Bartholomew is
Lance
going to.
doesn't either. Is there any wood that we pass?
Yeah, there's occasionally some. There are occasionally some like wooden support beams that are kind of putting up some of the more refined parts of this tunnel.
There were some wooden support beams.
The termites!
The colony of magical termites! What's your goal with the action? Are you like trying to get some of the wood that's like occasionally blocking your path out of the way instantly?
My plan is to try to go after those wooden support beams you mentioned to collapse the tunnel behind us, where a T-Rex Bartholomew is giving chase.
You can do that, but right now you have Selcress and Kurogan right near where he is. They would be trapped in that point in the tunnel.
Ah.
That being said, I think this is definitely still a success. Do you hold it until they can get past?
I will hold my action to do that.
Okay.
Kurogan?
Well, I think Kurogan went, right? He tried to do the
No,
acrobatics.
that's an attack against Kurogan. It's a 24.
And it would hit, except shield!
That gives you enough, really?
Yeah, because I have 21 AC plus 5 from the shield.
He put the extra bonus into the armor class. That saves you in this instance, it looks like.
That was my last spell shot. It was well worth it.
As he goes to crash down and bite right at you, you block with your shield.
Do a barrel roll with your cool wings. Selcress,
Yeah.
all around. You're a little dizzy, but you have brought yourself around.
Take a left and then.
That was a good moment for that shield. Yeah, no two ways about that, Kurogan. The collective initiative is now yours. You have 7 successive collectively.
After we pass, the termites are active.
9?
We have 9, Pete. 9.
Oh wait, 9.
Yeah.
Whoa.
I missed 2 people with the teleport and 2 people with the dash.
Oh yes.
Then the termites activate because we passed by.
That is the 9th.
Yeah, that was.
I'm just our action order, or order economy, or whatever it's called. I'm gonna dash forward with the speed of 120 with dash.
Yeah, you only gain the benefits of that once.
I know. I'm just
every turn, but yeah.
I'm just doing that to get away from.
Yeah, of course.
From this guy here.
Let's provoke an opportunity attack.
Oh, in that case, I'm gonna. It doesn't. I'll just go because it doesn't matter.
That's the old GM's blunder. Didn't wait for you to say you were gonna disengage. All right. You dash forward.
It misses anyway.
Exactly. As he goes to chomp down upon you.
That's my action, is to do that.
All right.
Get away further.
Activate.
And then the termites activate, and you watch as, that kind of chunk of the tunnel that Bartholomew was walking through as a giant T-Rex slams downward, and the tunnel just kind of like collapses behind.
Does it damage Bartholomew?
Is he stuck?
You don't see him.
Down, maybe.
Well, no, you don't see him kind of following you anymore. He's just gone. The tunnel continues to collapse around you.
That works for me. I'm gonna Eldritch Blast some of the debris in our way.
Alright, no one's made an attack roll yet. Absolutely. Go ahead and make an attack roll. 19 is enough. You continue to Eldritch Blast kind of some stuff out of the way. Who hasn't taken a turn yet?
I haven't. I would like... It's loud, right? Like, all this is really loud?
Yeah, it also seems accelerated by Lance taking out a lot of, like, the support beams. It seems to have picked up the progress of this thing. The collapsing tunnel is, like, right behind you.
I would like... right behind us. Is Levi still ahead of us?
No.
Levi, I think, actually got caught up in...
Then I will become the real... Using my telepathy to inform them of what we're facing next.
Success right there.
All right, where does that put us?
We're at 11.
11.
I count 10.
The attack was
the
10.
The attack roll with the Eldritch Blast, and then
was 10, and then this, so it's 11.
11. You need one more success for one failure.
Has anyone not taken an action yet?
Can Lance activate Moon Maiden's Light to burn out and intensify our light for even more sight, and just to deal with anything that might try to hamper our move?
You already got light bait.
Yeah, I think you've already done light.
Okay.
I thought it was 11 to 3, not 12 to 3. I guess it was wrong.
No, it's
11 to
12.
It's 11 to 2.
Yeah, 11 to 2. We need 12 to succeed.
The next one decides it.
Let's go for that supportive +1. Can I try to reinvigorate Euchaunkas to kind of get out there and continue scoping out by lesser restoration?
The poison's gone.
The poison is gone. I'm gonna ask you to make a spellcasting ability check. So roll a d20 and add your wisdom.
Oh man. Hey.
That is enough. All right. So as you're kind of running down this tunnel and it's collapsing behind you, you can see most of it has kind of. Fallen. You watch out of kind of a side path. You go and kind of turn down another corridor and go turn to the right. In the distance, you can see the light at the end of the tunnel, with the tunnel still kind of falling behind you. But you can see outside, it looks to be like a great forest. The path to your left, when you were kind of making this choice, was completely covered with debris, but you just all of a sudden, crashing through this debris, you see it explode, and the T-Rex Bartholomew, presumably using his teleport as he did in shark form before, has moved elsewhere within this temple and is once again behind you. As he explodes, he's taking one last, as a legendary action, taking one last attack. Who is currently the farthest back in the pack? Is that you, Euchaunkas, or is that Lance? I believe Kurogan and Selcress are at the front.
We're far ahead, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just gonna roll a d2. That was Euchaunkas, and then Lance. That's against you, Lance. That's a... Oh, did abysmal roll. That did a lot of damage. As he goes to bite down on you, right as he goes to bite you, Lance, you're just kind of looking back. You see a huge boulder crash down, strike it on top of the head, and it just kind of falls. The temple continues to crumble as all of you emerge out of the temple and into the space beyond. And you do have a moment to catch your breath as you stand within a forest.
You think we did it?
No.
No, not yet.
You think?
Everyone.
You
A
think?
little rougher than I'm used to.
I am feeling the hurt, but I will be okay.
You hear Bartholomew's voice speak to you. Well, I suppose this is it. Show me what it is that you can do. And you see the ground around you begin to crack.
Still flying.
The sky above you, you watch as clouds seem to fall out of it. The blue of the heavens just starts to bleed downwards, revealing behind it just black void crackling with what looks like just arcane energy. You see just huge motes of fire cascading through this space as the trees around you just kind of like crumble and crack and fall away as the entirety of the ground around you also disappears. You see a primordial lightning bolt, Euchaunkas, a force terrifying even to you, a worshipper of the cloud, cascades and moves through the space in which you're standing, just kind of barely avoiding you. Around you, in just the roiling gyre, it is in many ways absolute pandemonium. You stand now in the void.
What?
Resting on a very small platform. Another crackle of thunder. Galaxies swirl in the distance. You have a moment of pause here as you're watching the world fall apart around you.
Here, I tossed Selcress and Kurogan each a healing potion, and I tossed Lance a greater healing potion.
So, a regular healing potion is what?
2d4 plus 2?
Immediately doubting it.
I forgot about potions, I can't believe it. I will down the one that Euchaunkas gives me.
Alright, you all, basically all of you just take a minute and drink a healing potion as you look out at just the end of the world before you.
Euchaunkas, what size was that?
That was greater.
Oh, wow.
So 44 plus
44 plus what?
4.
Yes. Also, hey Bartholomew. Remember these? When initiative starts, the bees are coming back out.
Very
I
well.
will also hand out another basic healing potion to everyone, and I will partake of another to
I think
myself.
actually before you have a chance to like go around and hand everyone another healing potion, that is the point at which you see Bartholomew kind of rising up over the side of this just small floating platform in, well, pandemonium.
Is he a giant black figure that looks like a heartless, perhaps?
No, he's Bartholomew. You
Aww.
also see a number of other, you see another number of other just kind of platforms that are kind of spaced out, moving and rolling through the space. Bartholomew, it's down to this. I want you to know, regardless of the outcome here, you've all fought commendably. Shall we resume?
Yes.
Alright.
As soon as he says, "Shall we resume?" I shoot him.
And bees come out.
Improvement. And he looks at you and he just kind of smiles as go ahead and make an attack roll. You've taken the verbal initiative.
How far away is he?
Really, I'm calling lightning, but
It's pretty close.
you know.
Also, the bees are a once per day thing, Alex.
Even with the stick and string.
Yeah.
Time to-
That's
Oh, that's right.
Use them ever.
I forgot that it's a thing we did
Yeah,
to
that
make
was a-
sure
that
I
was
not
a
roll
thing.
it. Use it
So,
all
yeah.
the time.
That's correct. Alright, so much damage. Oh wait, he's making a save. Actually, that barely succeeds. He's gonna take half on the call lightning.
So 6 damage.
6
Silcress
points of
is
damage.
Gonna shoot out Eldritch Blasts.
Alright.
Take this! And this!
Am I still
The-
blessed? I feel like I'm blessed.
The first
You're
one,
not blessed.
the first one he's going to counter steal. He throws it right back at you as it strikes. The second one, a quick head motion to the side, it dodges over the shoulder. That's a 26 against you, Selcress. Go ahead and roll damage. 6 points of cold damage.
That's
At the end of your
Yeah.
turn, Bartholomew is going to use a legendary action in order to teleport over next to Lance. Selcress,
Well, that saved me the trouble.
did you have a bonus action? I forgot to ask.
Yeah, she'll bring Levi back to life, who
Levi
presumably
returns.
got zapped.
Yeah, Levi was taken down in the cave. All right, the next act, who will go?
Lance will
Go ahead, Lance.
activate Moon Maiden's Light, giving Bartholomew that sweet 8 radiant. And I still forget to turn off my Divine Strike when I do that, so
Um,
and I will bonus action chug.
all right, 15 points of damage.
Just the 8. The 7
the
doesn't
8.
count.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I keep forgetting to toggle that.
Fun damage check. You're at 666. All right, that's going to. At the end of your turn, is that all for you, Lance?
Yeah, that'll do it.
I need all of you to make a dexterity saving throw as he's going to use 2 legendary actions to cast a fireball.
So rude.
At 5th level.
I forget to turn off Bless.
Euchaunkas, your critical success is not enough. But for virtue of the crit, I'll say that you do take half damage. 41, so you'll take 20. Lance, you also will take half. You take only.
I also take 20 because fire resistance.
And you take half. Selcress, you take a full 41 points of fire damage. And Bartholomew also takes 41 points of fire damage, as he just drops this fireball centered on his own form, as all of you are kind of here amongst the platform area. Bartholomew calls out, "You can't be afraid to get in harm's way yourself."
Pete,
Why do you think I
interesting
fight so close?
Yes, please.
Levi's dead.
Is
by the way.
Bartholomew a shapeshifter?
Bartholomew is not a shapeshifter.
It was a valiant effort.
No,
Not a
fair.
Rakshasa. I'm sorry, Lance.
That
I know
would've
you
been-
really wanted it to be. I guess I'll go.
Yeah, please do.
In which case, I'm gonna bonus action divert all but one from my wings and my AC, so I'm back down to 20 AC. Except it's going into. It's actually not going into the claws this time. No, instead it's going into the hide. So I actually grow in size.
Alright.
And so I do an extra 1d4 damage. And I become immune to, let's say, lightning. Because it's one of dragon-based stats, so I chose lightning. What else does it do? I've almost never used this thing.
You're bigger in size.
I'm bigger in size.
You get resistance.
That, and I have advantage on saving throws against breath weapons that are immune to the terrifying presence of ability of dragons. Yep. Not that that matters.
Yeah, it's a niche ability for hunting dragons.
So then I attack because I can do that.
Strike.
Okay. 16.
16 does not do it.
23 does.
23 does. Another 17 points of damage.
Okay, yeah. The second part of that one isn't actually fire damage, but the first one is. So 17 points of damage. Actually, I don't have the dragon's fire on, so it's actually just 16 points.
Okay. Is that all for your turn?
Yes.
All right, we're back at the top of the initiative now.
Legendary.
Oh.
He's going to use his fourth stab. 5's come up a few times. He's going to go ahead and stab you with the solstice tree. Actually, it's only come up the once. It's 26. It's disadvantage because it's in melee with the lance, but that's still 11 points of damage.
Lance in lance?
Still alive.
Nope, that was against Kurogan.
Oh, okay.
Kurogan's still up. And Selcress, are you also still up after that fireball?
I'm okay.
Okay.
Not by much, but I'm okay. Levi is definitely dead, though.
The turn belongs to Bartholomew.
Well, Pete, at the top of the initiative order, I'm going to roll D10. We're going to have the chaos of pandemonium.
Yes.
8. All right. Gusts of freezing rain assail just the entirety of pandemonium in this moment. Everywhere around you is now difficult terrain and is heavily obscured, and each of you take 1d6 cold damage. Ranged weapon attacks are impossible. The wind and rain count as a severe distraction for the purposes of maintaining concentration on spells. Finally, the gusts of wind are strong, ranging from 20 to 50 miles per hour. Gusts of wind, which are 20 to 50 miles per hour, automatically can disperse the mist. So you have disadvantage on concentration checks. And
So this is a storm.
Yeah, it is becoming a storm around you.
That's the damage there.
Yes, it's going to be 2 points of cold damage to everyone.
I survive. I'm alive.
Well, now Bartholomew goes.
Bartholomew goes. He looks to you, Euchaunkas, and utters in words that only you can hear. Euchaunkas, choose! And he speaks to you, and again, you see his mouth moving, but none of you can understand what's coming out of it. As he speaks to you, Euchaunkas, directly. Shall Lance lose his voice or Kurogan his eyes?
Lance loses his voice.
Lance, you go to speak, and you have been silenced. You are just... You like all of a sudden have this terrible sensation, and there's just no tongue in your mouth anymore.
Was this his turn, or
that was what he did on his turn, and that is all for it.
He took that 8 at the start of his turn.
Yes, he did.
He also took 2 cold damage. Don't forget, Pete.
Yep, I did count that. All right.
Well,
our turn.
Yeah.
The collective turn.
I'll seize the verbal initiative this time and send him 2 more Eldritch Blasts. Actually, I'm going to revive Levi first with a bonus action, then 2 more Eldritch Blasts.
Do magic count as...
have a way of seeing him?
Do I see him at all?
Currently, everything is heavily obscured.
Do you still have the...
Still up?
Yeah.
It's a minute.
Does she have that?
What? I can't hear you. Sorry.
Is
just
Ghostly
echoing.
Gaze still up?
Oh
It's in
yeah, it is.
Yeah,
You guys
actually,
can
so
see him.
yep, you're good.
Never mind, you're all set.
Yeah, okay.
Good call.
Eldritch
Radical.
Blast then.
Nice.
Eldritch Blast 1 hits. He's not
Can
gonna do
he
anything to it.
see her doing
Blast,
this?
right?
He has
Okay,
true sight.
well.
Go ahead and roll. Oh, 15. You already did. 15 points of force damage on that first one. That's another hit.
And I have
Okay.
Blast, right?
Yep.
No.
Yep. Oh wait, no.
So-
I'm sorry. I just said yes instinctively.
Okay.
You do not have bless at the moment.
Alright.
Would have thought we'd be in a fight with Lance included and Bless not be up.
Pushing you to your limits. All right.
Alright, and then that's it for my turn.
Bartholomew.
Bonus action, revive Levi.
I already did that.
Oh, my bad.
You see Bartholomew focus, and he reaches into his sheath with utmost concentration, and pulls a weapon out of it. It appears to be, it appears to be just kind of some kind of cube on a stick. From where you're standing in the intense fog, it's a little bit hard to make out more than that. Lance, he's going to bring that down upon you as a legendary action. This one costs him 2 to choose his Bartholomew's choice, or his Big Bag Bonanza pull, as he's going to strike at you with advantage because of the cover with the square great axe. Oh,
Not that it matters.
but an 11 misses.
Jesus.
That's that legendary action.
Y'all mind if I pick this up?
Sure.
I mean,
Go
Lance,
for
you're
it.
deaf. I mean, sorry, you're mute, but go ahead.
Well, okay, I won't actually ask. I'll just do actions over words. I will bonus action chug.
All right.
Not that it's actually going to help if I ever get hit by anything, but who knows. And I'm just going to hope this hits. Actually toggle on my Divine Strike.
As we come down to the attack, I believe that's just the 11, right?
Believe so, yeah. I don't think I have any reason to have advantage.
All right, yeah, that unfortunately misses. And as you make the second one hits, do you have 2 attacks?
I do have 2 attacks.
Awesome. Go ahead and attack with the second one. Roll damage. That hits.
15 radiant.
And as the first one misses, and then the second one kind of stabs into Bartholomew, he kind of leans into the blade, and he just looks at you, unable to respond. But Bartholomew looks at you in the eyes and goes, "Good Lance, everything that you have at your disposal, you'll have to use all of it." And that's all for your turn?
Is all for Lance's. Wait, let me double check my items because that's always a thing you should.
The square great axe, while you're doing that, this time comes down again, but to the side at you, Kurogan, with advantage. 14 misses, though.
Yeah.
All right, who would like to go?
My turn.
Please do.
This is normal, I guess, because I'm right next to him. You can
Yep.
see him pretty easily. Cause
No, I believe
right there.
he's still obscured. Yes.
Yeah, he's still heavily obscured.
Yeah, it's just that's the intensity of the wind.
wow, I guess it's still a disadvantage then.
Until the end of the round. Until the end of the round.
18.
Hits, obviously.
For 12?
As you've learned by now. If there's anything you've learned, it's Bartholomew's armor class.
And a 24 for another 18 damage.
What was the total there? 30.
12 plus 18. Yeah, it's 30.
7. Okay.
We're on last in the initiative now.
Yep.
Euchaunkas.
Euchaunkas, what's the play?
I dropped concentration on Call Lightning to recast it at 5th level.
Oh.
Oh my.
And bring it down on him.
Bartholomew is going to make a dexterity saving throw, yes?
And it's effectively 6th level because of the...
The storm.
Yeah.
I
Good.
Wait, I'm using the giant shark, my mistake.
You're not a giant shark.
Oh, wow. 22, critical success. For
14.
39 but 14 points of lightning damage. The massive lightning bolt crashes downwards into the space, and Bartholomew at this point is going to whip around using his
It's not his turn yet.
Oh, I'm sorry. You still have a bonus
I bite
action.
him.
The 11 misses.
Miss.
Bartholomew is
Before
going.
Bartholomew's turn, we have the
Oh no, this is a legendary. His last legendary. As he's going to, he's still holding the square great axe in his hand, and he just teleports off the pillar about 30 feet away.
All right.
Clever.
Pandemonium, let's see how you do. 9, same thing. Everyone's going to take 4 points of cold damage, and it is still gusts of freezing rain assailing just...
I'm unconscious.
Oh.
Kurogan falls.
Selcress is okay. She transferred that over to Levi.
Is Levi dead again?
It's 4 hit points, and he resists
Oh.
cold.
Yeah,
so-
he's
I
dead, actually.
didn't. I thought it was the 9 and the 4. I
Nope.
was confused. And Bartholomew also takes that, right?
Yep, 4 cold.
All right.
That's Bartholomew's turn.
And now it's Bartholomew's turn. Bartholomew, running out of kind of more traditional tricks, it seems he's doubling back on some of his most powerful spells now. You see he begins to just hold lightning in his hand and sends it hurling towards you, Lance, and Euchaunkas. As he's going to cast Lightning Bolt at the two of you at 7th level.
Lance will go unconscious if he saves.
Euchaunkas,
I'm unconscious.
Kurogan, you who were also in that pile. Selcress, I think you were separated a bit, weren't you?
Yeah.
But Bartholomew's been fighting the three of you in just like a stab circle. Wait, Euchaunkas, you're also down? I thought you
Yeah.
had resistance to this still.
No, Primordial Ward's a concentration spell.
Oh, of course. Alright. Selcress, you are currently the only one standing.
I take 1 failure, right?
Yep, you take 1 failure.
Oh boy. Alrighty. Selcress's turn.
Yep.
Alrighty. She's gonna have Levi bonus actions. I mean, can I revive any of these boys by taking their potions?
It would be an action to feed somebody a potion.
They'd be able to go immediately after.
Yep. Bartholomew
Right.
looks. What will you do, Selcress? You're alone now.
Well, Levi's gonna sting him first. She-
As Levi reaches out and stings Bartholomew, he's looking at you, and as Levi just stings him in the cheek, he smiles, just a wide grin, and teleports right up in front of you. Those of you who are on the ground, I need you to make death saving throws.
Wait, is that
Wait,
her
Selcress still is an action, right?
Oh wait, that was just a bonus action. What am I talking
Yeah,
about?
it's just a bonus action.
yeah.
I mean, make them anyway, probably, but,
Well, let's see. What do you do, Selcress?
yeah, Selcress.
Alright. She's gonna go over to Euchaunkas and feed him one of his own healing potions.
I don't have any potions left. Lance has.
Okay, I'm gonna feed you one of Lance's healing potions.
Okay, I get up. Oh god, my head.
As a legendary action at the end of Bartholomew's turn, he
Okay.
swings.
Selcress.
At the end of Selcress's turn, it's late. He swings down with the weapon he's still wielding, the square great axe, at you. He does not have advantage against you because that's an 8 to hit. I assume that misses.
Yeah.
It crashes down to the pillar beneath you, and you watch as it strikes. The pillar just a perfectly square hole is just left in the ground where it's just disintegrated by the strike of the square great axe. Euchaunkas.
Not
I stand up.
yet.
Oh boy, Bartholomew, you know, I can't beat you anymore. I'm completely spent. I try to bite him.
22.
Nice! You bite him!
You bite Bartholomew right in his dumb face for
10 points.
for 10 points of damage.
And now, I still don't think I can beat you, but you know who might be able to? Kurogan. Get up.
As you wish. Kurogan just rises, like, with using his wings to make him rise without actually getting himself up. He just rises up from the dead and goes right at
But there's
Bartholomew.
there is going to be a legendary action, of course, first, as Bartholomew is going to expend two points as the square great axe disappears, realizing at this point he just needs to do a ridiculous amount of damage. He pulls out the sword of Edenon. He strikes you for 20 piercing damage, Euchaunkas.
Ow.
You are back down, I believe. As he looks to you, Kurogan.
This
One
is
at a
for
time.
This is for him. Strike a great sword. 16 doesn't hit.
A 16 does not hit.
24 does.
24 does. Another 14 points of damage.
And also, bonus action Reaper. For another 12 points of damage. Well, actually, it's not 12, it's 7 points, because it doesn't have strength.
700. It's 795. Bartholomew looks well scratched and bruised and bloodied, but he still stands with confidence. At the end of your turn, he's going to use his last legendary action of the round to strike and use Selcress with the Sword of Edenon. A sword which does a ridiculous amount of damage.
That's too bad. Because I'm Tumen.
Hey.
You freeze yourself within the tomb of Levistus. And
Get got. Get got.
I believe that's all for that, which means it's Bartholomew's.
Roll a death saving throw.
Yep.
Hey, that's a success.
And now, pandemonium happens. 5. Alright, it is cold still. Everyone's gonna take 2 points of cold damage.
Is that an auto fail?
Absolutely it is.
Ow.
797.
So it's Bartholomew's turn now.
Bartholomew looks down.
And he's up here fighting us.
Mhm.
That's excellent. I'm so glad he didn't teleport away. Just the 8. Ignore the 6. I keep forgetting to toggle that.
Fair enough, as you get him over the 800 point. Just the 6 you said, correct?
Just
the
the
8.
6.
Oh, okay, my mistake. You are currently encased within a tomb, Selcress, but Bartholomew looks down with no other options save for Kurogan and the 3, and the 2 that are down there before him. And Bartholomew looks up into the void above. He kind of traces his fingers through the royal. A lightning bolt cracks, but he catches what looks to be a great moving rock and just points his finger downward as he casts a meteor swarm on the pillar that you stand upon.
Pretty sure even if we say we're all dead.
I believe so. But Selcress, I think you're still alive.
Barely.
Barely.
as you have a massive number of temporary hit points in your Tomb of Levistus. And as you return in this moment, your allies just gone, ashes before you. Bartholomew looks across at you. Selcress, you're just there in the Royal of Pandemonium floating. He looks at you. Selcress, I said this to you before, but now you are alone. What do you do?
I can make an action.
Yeah, you can do whatever.
You see,
you could leave, you know. And behind you, you see just a door appear in the space within Pandemonium, and you see what look like just steps, a pathway for you to walk. You could live.
she glares. There's like little tears forming in her eyes, and 2 icy eldritch blasts form.
Go ahead and make an attack roll.
Well, in vain.
You watch as Bartholomew doesn't move. The 2 eldritch blasts, even your 14 strikes. Roll damage on both.
Okay.
And Bartholomew takes 2 hits. His body pushed back twice as he steps forward, and he just leans in and whispers in your ear, "Good, Selcress. Now, rest," as he casts Power Word Kill upon you.
And Selcress, the life fades from her eyes, and she collapses on the pillar.
And you all are gone. But of course, Bartholomew revives his heroes upon their defeat. And once more, after just no time seeming to pass at all, you all stand in a pristine white void. Bartholomew stands there before you. He just looks at you.
I'm standing proud even though I was defeated.
He smiles and nods.
You're a real psychotic son of a bitch, Bartholomew.
Greetings, adventurers. He smiles.
Still got some life in those guns, I see.
Yeah, Bartholomew seems perfectly clean and untouched, as all of you are. You've done very well. You were given numerous challenges. You were faced with all that we could possibly throw at you. And none of you ever once faltered. And when you're battling overwhelming odds, that is the only way you can fight. So, I believe there's, well, not much of a ceremony for this, but I would like to promote the 4 of you to Legend Tier Adventurers.
Truly, did we not fail the trial?
We didn't get you, though.
There was no winning.
Yes, that
Do
is.
you really think we could have bested the most powerful wizard in all of DnDTime land?
Well, I was trying.
Yes, even though we knew we could not win, we had to face the challenge because that is who we are. It is what we do as adventurers, as heroes.
Bartholomew kind of nods. For what it's worth, though you, of course, did not defeat me, he just kind of casts a small illusion before you. You scored 801 points. And he smiles, as that was your final damage count. And Bartholomew looks over at you. So, like I said, we don't have much prepared for a ceremony. I know that these are usually a bit more to do about them. But allow me to thank all of you. A door appears. You see the same door that you entered in behind you, which is open. On the other side of it, you see only darkness. Bartholomew speaks. Before you step through, there are some formalities that must be observed. And he begins walking down the line. He first steps towards you. Euchaunkas. The storm incarnate. You are, believe it or not, yourself a hero. You may not fight in the manner that others do. You may do things that others consider crimes. But you stand up to push back the darkness of the world when it truly encroaches. So, I believe now we can count on you. You are stalwart. You are faithful. Euchaunkas, it has been an honor to see you adventuring amongst my adventuring troop. And he reaches out, he holds out to you his bag, and he says, would you perhaps like to make one last pull?
Last? Well, sure.
Go ahead and roll me a D1000.
Ooh.
853. Best of luck. He kind of smiles, winks. Just allow me a brief moment. As you reach around the bag, normally you move around a number of different things, but this time you act with a degree of confidence. Your hand reaches into the bag, and within, as my document notes, you grab what appears to be a crown. Actually, I'm sorry, that is the incorrect item. You grab instead what appears to be a belt. You pulled it out. It's very beautifully made. Bartholomew speaks up to you. It's the belt of body and soul. Best of luck figuring out what it does, but I assure you, it's pretty interesting. And he just scans it to you. The kind of patterning on it, it looks beautiful. The leather is very well worn. I hope it serves you well, Euchaunkas.
Thanks. You said we scored points.
Yes, 801.
How many did Roger get when he did it?
He kind of... I don't know. He doesn't seem... He can answer that question.
Oh well.
For some reason. Bartholomew looks over next to you, Lance. Lance Silverblood. You are a man of as pristine and perfect faith as the moon which you serve. Lance, you are beyond merely a hero. You are a perfect citizen of the world. Your every action is for the benefit of those around you, as evidenced both by the manner in which you fight and the manner in which you live your life. You've raised a wonderful daughter and have built a community. Lance, thank you. He smiles and nods.
Thank you, Bartholomew. I don't think I could have done any of it if it wasn't for you.
I don't know if that's true, but it has been an honor working with you. Thank you. Would you like to make a pull?
Very well. I'm not sure what all of this is, but worst comes to worst, do you promise you'll take care of Elysia for me?
I promise. As best I can. Roll a D1000.
Hey, that's not bad.
Alright. Your hand reaches into the bag, and you find within, first, it passes over what appears to be an amulet of some kind. And as you kind of reach out and grab it, you think you're going to lose it. It begins to fall from your grasp, but you clutch around it tightly. And the amulet that you pull from the bag, oh my god, the amulet that you pull from the bag, Bartholomew says, this is the Lambda amulet. I will leave it to you to figure out what it does. And the amulet is adamantine. It has delicate runes written around it, and a sapphire at its core. You've gained the Lambda amulet.
That sounds incredibly familiar. I shall use it as I may.
He nods. And he looks next towards you, Selcress. Selcress, I feel like I have watched you grow over the time that you've been here. When you entered, you were never timid, Selcress, but you lacked confidence. You looked to your mother. You looked to others to, well, give permission to know how to proceed in the world, but you have set out upon your own. You are strong. Perhaps the strongest-willed individual I have ever met. Selcress, you are and will be a queen. I have no doubt about it. Levistus has chosen wisely, as Levistus has always done. He smiles. Selcress, thank you.
Well, I mean, yeah. I will accept your thanks. Mm-hmm.
Today, I
She's
bow
totally
to you.
not twiddling her thumbs.
Today, he says, I bow to you, and he kind of leans over and offers a deep, respectful bow.
Her eyes just light up. This! And not the killing of Bartholomew is what she has always wanted.
Would you care to make a pull from the bag? Wait, I was actually working on something.
Oh?
And he hands you a beautiful frozen crown.
It's perfect.
She just throws it on her head.
How I look?
Kurogan smiles.
Your Majesty, and he smiles. Do you even want a pull? He looks at you.
I'm kind of happy where I am.
He nods, and steps along. Kurogan, the great and powerful. No two words could better summarize who you are. Your power has been without question for as long as I've known you. You were, well, one of the first. to step into my shop. And the most stalwart, the most loyal, the most powerful, you've tackled every challenge that you have come across with confidence and strength. You are great, Kurogan. I owe much of what I am now and what our shop has become to you. Thank you. He nods towards you. Kurogan, would you care to make one last pull?
Yes. You have
Go
saved
ahead.
my life on many occasions, Bartholomew. I will never forget what you have done for me. 8:30.
30? All right.
8:30.
Oh, 8:30.
Much higher.
That's better than 30. All right, you reach into the bag, and you find within. Your hand wraps with confidence around the handle of a sword. As you pull it out of the bag, you find that the blade of it appears to be of incredible, beautiful steel. It glows with a bit of an ethereal light. It is in the shape of a katana, and Bartholomew speaks up to you. The mithril katana of purity. Fine piece. Please treat it well.
Of course.
And with that, he leans back and smiles. You are all promoted to Legend Tier Adventures. I know that you will, well, your actions will change the world. Goodbye. And he just gestures to the door.
Come on, guys.
I'm gonna start walking, look back, put my hand on, walk back, put my hand on his shoulder, and give him a big hug, and then walk out.
Bartholomew, just kind of like stunned in the moment, kind of tentatively reaches out and wraps his arms around your shoulders and returns the hug.
Selcress kind of walks up to his leg, like the quick ghost hug.
He fluffs your hair, avoiding the spikes of the crown.
And then she scurries away, and
Lance will go for a short, sort of the firm shoulder. Well, we're in this together. From now on, we'll save the world. Lots for you, Bartholomew.
He nods. Thank you.
Here's a skull. It fused with another skull inside my stomach. I'm not really sure what the two skulls were, but here you go.
Bartholomew takes the skull. He looks at it, tosses it into the bag, and then, for the road. And he pulls out just a pile, a towering pile of old Yeti jerky.
Ooh, no, I'm good. That stuff is
You sure?
even too much for me. Just too. Oh God. You know, no, I'll take it. I might have to throw up on someone again.
You consume all of the Yeti jerky in an
Oh,
instant,
God.
your mouth stretching and widening. It may serve you well again.
Yeah, who
And
knows?
he waves one last time. Good luck.
Oh wait, here you go. It's a holy symbol.
And as you go to turn around and hand it to him, Bartholomew is gone,
Son of a bitch.
and the holy symbol is also gone from your hand.
Ah.
All that remains is the door.
Alright, everyone. Let's go.
Yes. We have a lot of world saving to do.
Yeah,
Further
yeah.
and further up.
Yes, saving.
As you stand in this blank white void, only the doorway lying ahead of you. You take a step forward, your hands upon the handle. It's firm yet yield. Click. The lock, it disengages, and you begin to pull open the door. Blinding whiteness beyond. And you step forward. And so, the greatest battle that the lands of DnDTime had yet to see came to its end. Kurogan, always the great and powerful. Selcress, the icy queen with a heart of gold. Lance Silverblood, ever watchful, vigilant by the moon's soft light. And Euchaunkas Ouwoupli, a veritable storm upon those of
As our heroes stepped forth, tales would be told, and stories shared. Tales of triumphs and of falters, of bravery and unerring resolve in the face of oblivion. Tales of these heroes fighting side by side may be shared by warm fires, recalled as stories of hope.
these stories would survive, take root and grow, becoming fables amongst the tribes and townsfolk, passed down through the generations, symbols of all that is right against all wrong.
Each hero's saga but a glimmer of hope. Hope to be cemented in myth and whispered far and wide. Explanations for the unfathomable truths of the heavens and of the earth. Of life and of death. Of the past and for the future.
But for some, this future will not come. The darkness will hold many. But for the people of the lands of DnDTime, they would believe now more than ever that by this hope, their future may yet come.
For on this night it was not action, but resolution. Not victory, but defeat. Our heroes faced an unbeatable foe, stood against overwhelming odds, and bore the burden of inevitability to their final breaths. The lands of DnDTime will never be the same.
For on this night, our heroes made a choice. They took the first step upon a path forsaken by destiny. A path that may someday save these lands and make stuff